Hey there, Tomato Heads. Lauren here, Mrs. Tomato Head. I'm so happy to be back with all of you. It feels like it's been forever. And I was trying to think, I know last week I wasn't feeling well, so I canceled, which I hate to do. The week before our 5,000 member celebration. I think it may have been of Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. We recently hit 5,000 members. If you haven't been with me for a while, now we're at like 5,300 already. So I did a show with Jen and Keen. I think that may have been it. Have I done one since I've been on the cruise? I don't remember. Anyway, if it's your first time watching, I'm Lauren. Welcome to Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. Got a little ticker here. There we go. I come to you each Thursday at this time, and we talk tomatoes. I go down the rabbit hole quite a bit when I'm talking about various varieties, and I like this broadcast to be interactive with all of you. So please put in your comments. I try to get as many on the screen as I can. I don't even remember. I think I've been on since I've been back from the cruise. I don't remember. So my daughter is an actress, singer, and she's been spending since March. She's been on the Disney Wish cruise line as maybe Cinderella, maybe not. I think the correct terminology is she's friends with Cinderella. That's how Disney wants it. So we've been missing her all year. Rob and I and my parents got to go on cruise, just a very short 4-day cruise with her. Got to spend a little time with her and Cinderella. So it was great. And then I haven't been feeling all that great since then. Many of you know, if you've watched, I live with a chronic illness and chronic pain, and just some things have been acting up. I'm doing a whole lot better, though. Thank you all for your well wishes. And it's great to be back. When I was putting together like my outline of varieties and stuff I want to talk about today, I'm like, gosh, it feels like forever since I've done this. Let's get to some comments for some of our AKA Diana. I like how you've added that in now, Diana. Hey there, thanks for being here. Haley's here. Hello. For those of you that haven't watched in a while, or if you're new, I'm not really trying out. This is the new platform that I'm using. It's called EvMux or EVMux. I'm not sure which. And we've used it a few times. We used it for, I've used it for, I did an unboxing of Garden Horde last week, used it for that. We used it for our 5,000 member celebration. Oh, yeah, that was a hot mess. I'm just remembering now. I was not feeling well at all. And that episode, because the giveaway tool was not working, and I'm hoping it works today, it was a show that lasted 3 hours. It's pain. When you're not feeling well, I always love spending time with you guys and Keena and Jen, but it was painful for me. I just wanted to curl up under a rock after that. So hopefully the giveaway tool is working. All you have to do in the comments is type #tomato. I have that banner somewhere here. #tomato. And hopefully it's working. I like to give away seed prizes at the end of the episode. So just type in #tomato and hopefully it works. Tomorrow night, Jen and I have a big show. It's our monthly Tomato Talk Live which was supposed to be last week. It's at the first Friday of the month. And I wasn't feeling well last week, so we canceled. And our guest, who was supposed to be on last week, Craig LaHoulier, many of you know him from the Dwarf Tomato Project and the author of Epic Tomatoes, which is like the Bible of tomatoes, this book. He's our friend. He's been on the show twice already. He was supposed to be on with us for a third time, but he was hit by Hurricane Helene badly. He's in North Carolina. So he had canceled on us a couple days earlier. Jen and I decided to change it to this week. And guess what? Craig can come. So Craig's going to be on with us tomorrow. That starts at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock Pacific, and 10 p.m. Central European Standard Time. So I hope you guys can watch us. Any episode with Craig is a good episode. I mean, all of our episodes are great, even when it's just Jen and I chatting with all of you, because you're so much a part of our show too. But we love having Craig on. He's just a wealth of knowledge. He's an all-around great guy. I mean, if you have to pick a king of tomatoes, and he's our king, he's a wonderful king. He's just a great guy. He loves to share his wisdom with us. He shares, prizes and things like that. We do have a giveaway. John Kramer, I believe, is giving away a copy of Epic Tomatoes again. So I hope you can join us live tomorrow, Friday, October 11th, 7 p.m. For those of you that are watching this on recording, by the way, all of our episodes are recorded, even if we come to you live like now. They are all recorded, so you can always watch the playback. And so this show is usually, on paper, it is me sharing the 10 tomatoes I'm obsessed with each given week, but it's never 10. It's never 10. It's usually more, and then like one variety I talk about leads down to like another 10 varieties or so, but it's fun. And obviously you guys don't mind because you watch. Let's get to some more comments here. I don't know if I got to you, Heidi. Hi, Heidi. Glad you're here. Meyer Way is here. Hi there. Rowena's here. All of my friends, all my tomato friends. And it's not a show without the swamp bitch, Harley the swamp bitch. Hi there, Harley. I always pronounce it Harley. Is it Harley or Harley? Didn't even cross my mind until now. Glad you're here. Glad you're all here. I owe many of you prizes. Now that I've been feeling a bit better, I've been getting, and our schedule has vastly cleared up. It was for like 6 months. It was every weekend we had a wedding, a shower, the cruise, like all really, really good things. But I think that's what's been adding to my neurological issues kind of flaring up. So I've been taking ample time to rest, and I've been feeling a bit better the last couple of days. So I'm getting back to giving away prizes. So if you enter to win, just know it may take a while, but I always get to you. Hi, Sherman. Glad you're here. Nicole Smith is here from Nicole Smith Gardening. Hey, buddy. How are you? Claudia's here. Hi, Claudia. And Nure. I see names and I'm like, yep, I see you. I owe you seeds. I owe you seeds. Tara Dove is here. Thank you guys for always being patient with me. I try to make it worth the wait because I usually add in extra bonuses, but I figure unless you're starting seeds and you're in a part of the world that's starting seeds, and there are some of you are starting seeds now, I believe in Australia, some of our friends over there, New Zealand. If that's the case, just ding dong, private message me and say, hey, can you get it out? I'd like to plant those this year. Otherwise, it can be a wait, but I make good on everything I promise. I promise. Sasha, I just saw your page the other day, which may be 2 months old, Sasha, but I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're still entering. I see you're still entering. We'll just add to what I already owe you. I owe you a number of things, I believe. And Mike's here. Hi, Mike. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I see a lot of welcome backs and glad to see you. Thank you. I did hit 1,000 subscribers. Yes, thank you. I'm actually at like 1.03K subscribers now. Maybe you missed the story, but it was while I was away on the cruise. I don't think I think I did find out about it when I was on the cruise. Jen Joy, my partner in crime, she noticed, I think, that I had 999 subscribers. And so she had her daughter Jade subscribe just to be my 1,000th subscriber. So she put me over the 1,000 subscriber. And thank you all for your support and all of that. It's really nice to see that people like listening to tomato rambling for a couple hours. The last unboxing, I think, was only an hour, but my shows do tend to go long. But we do have fun, right? Grace is here. Hi, Grace. Nice to see you. And our other partner in crime, Kina's here. Hey, Kina, all the way from Norway. Yvette's here from France. I just love that we are from all over the world. I really do. It's part of what makes our group special. Oh, speaking of the group, which I mentioned, but I didn't put up my little banner. So I assume that all of you are in the group, but you may not be. You may be a subscriber on YouTube. If you're not a member of our group, we are on Facebook. It's called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. We have over 5,000 members. We just started last summer, so a year and a couple months ago. We've got 5,000 members, and it is really different from any other tomato group you may be a part of. We're a real community. Of course, everything is optional. You don't have to participate in a darn thing. We're educational. We do share seeds. We've got daily prompts and posts and games and contests, and you can share your 5 most wanted of the week, your 1 most wanted and a most wanted post. But the best thing about it, honestly, and I think you guys who are in the group would agree with me, is the kindness and generosity. Like, it's not a lot of seed swap groups I've belonged to over the years. It's just, what can I have? I'm going to collect all the seeds, and it's all about me, 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 me. This group is very different, and I'm not sure why. I'm very grateful that it is, but people will trip over themselves to try to find you the seeds you're looking for. Trip over themselves. I'm not even kidding. It's a very kind place. We allow zero drama. We deal with it behind the scenes, Kina, Jen, and I, but you will never see it in the group. And it's not usually drama from people in the group, by the way. It's outside tomato stuff, which is insanity. But it's a really special place. So I know many people have kind of left Facebook or don't want to join Facebook because it's so yesterday and a lot of drama, especially United States election time. There can be a lot of drama. People stay away. But we've had people from my YouTube channel and Jen's YouTube channel that have joined Facebook just to join our group. Join just to be a part of our community, because you won't be sorry. You'll learn so much. You'll have a lot of fun. It's really a special place. Not just saying that because that's our group. And speaking of which, I don't even know if I should. Well, I'm going to. So I may cry with this. I'm not sure why. So just today, Kina and Jen are now admins with me. They've been moderators for a while, which is really just in writing, because the 3 of us really do everything together. All group decisions and everything are totally a 3-way partnership completely. And, I started the group technically. They came on within 24 hours, I think, both of them. And so it seemed silly that they weren't admins with me. So just today, we're 3-way co-admins now. So give them a big congratulations, and also a huge thank you. They work tirelessly to help me and all of us make this group a really special place. So thank you, Kina and Jen, from the bottom of my heart. But I know I can speak for the group, and that we all thank you, because you bring something very special to the table. Hector's here. Hi, Hector. Glad you're here. Bear Grows is here. Hi, Bear. I love everybody's YouTube names. I'm starting to get to know the YouTube names along with the person, but sometimes I forget. Lisa Lloyd is here. Hello, everyone. Glad you're feeling better. We've missed you. Thank you. I've missed you too. This one I know I should know because I just wrote it down last week, 771 blah, blah, blah. I know you told me the other day. Now I'm forgetting. I'll get the hang of it. But I do love the name 771 blah, blah, blah. No, only 2 blahs, blah, blah, 771 blah, blah. Katie's congratulated me on 1,000. Thank you very much, Katie. Rolanda from You Grow Row, another great YouTube channel. Hello, friends who's ready to learn about some new hashtag tomato to add to our wish list. I like how you did that. You entered while you commented there. Oh, I'm praying that the giveaway tool works. Oh, I am, because I'm kind of at a loss as to what to do. StreamYard, the platform I was using, went from $45 a month for the professional plan, which is really what we needed. It enables us to stream multiple places, and also Jen and Michael can both be on the team with me. And then they doubled their price. They went up to $90 a month. And so I'm like, I was searching for other things. I've got this stray hair here. And so I found this EV Mux, and it's great. But I need the giveaway tool to work. If it doesn't work, I don't know, may have to suck it up and go back to StreamYard. I don't want to, though. There's really so many great possibilities with EV Mux, FMux, whatever you're called. And I know the quality of the video is better. I'm just noticing I didn't call it my t-shirt. My tomato t-shirt today says, "The tomatoes are calling. I must go." Picture of an iPhone on my shirt. I've worn this one before, but sometimes I forget to show my shirts. What else we got here? I see Kyla Johnson's here. I see people writing in hashtag tomato. Good job. 771 blah blah. Hope you're feeling better. I'm doing a lot better. Thank you. My big problems are at night and in the mornings. But it had been happening during the day. So that's when I'm like, all right, I need to put the brakes on things for a bit and just cool my jets. I call them reboot days. And I took several reboot days, and I'm feeling a difference. I'm feeling raring to go here. Nicole says, so sorry to hit. Craig was affected by the storm. Yeah, he was out without power for a week. He only got it back this past weekend. And I didn't tell him. He let me know, and I didn't tell him that we had canceled the show because I wasn't feeling well, until we were talking a little bit back and forth. And then, I felt bad saying, you know what, we canceled the show. We're still going live on Friday. Do you want to join us? Because the guy's just been without power for a week. But eventually I did, and he's like, yeah, I'm in. He loves to be out with us, and we love having him. Tomorrow's going to be epic. Craig is great as a guest. He is. Deborah Henderson is here, my friend from Down Under. Hey, Deborah. Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. So good to see you, too. Hope you're feeling better. My buddy Linda Wicker Smith or Downing is here. Hello from Tennessee. How's everybody's weather? I took, oh my gosh, Eva's here. Eva, gosh, we go back a long way. She's one of my very first members of Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. Hi, Eva. Glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. I took a video of my current state of my garden and a picture of my kitchen countertop I wanted to share with you guys, and I couldn't upload it. Maybe even Mux isn't as good as I thought. Maybe I just need to get the hang of it. It's really annoying. But let me show you what my kitchen countertop looks like right now, if I can find it. These are just ones I've picked. So we have not had our first frost. I'm in Western New Jersey, I think technically 6B, zone 6B. So I've been watching, and our average frost date is right now, like October 15th. Today's October 10th. So I've been watching like the 10-day forecast to look for first frost, because I know that's when I have to go and pick all the green tomatoes, and I have a lot of peppers still. My peppers have been very late, which is kind of typical. I've been getting some for a while, but like the real nuts and bolts peppers, they're coming in now, lots of green peppers. So I don't want to wait till the frost comes, because then it's all ruined for the most part. So I've been picking stuff at first blush as typical, and this is really lame. I have to show you like this, but that's what my countertop looks like right now. Not too bad for October 10th. And that's just the stuff that was blushing. Stuff on the countertops, the stuff on the plants, it's pretty good. I'm so annoyed I can't share the video with you. I wonder.
Because we had the house power washed. I wanted to show you.
This will give you an idea.
This is October.
Lots of green still.
No frost yet, but it is coming. I know it's coming.
I'm sure you guys can't hear, but at least you can see the plants.
I mean, look, This one's Banyale Bufar, which I'm going to talk about today, long keeper. Still lots of tomatoes on there. So I'm paying close attention to the weather so I can pick whatever is left. Still have lots of tomatoes,
lot of death,
but it's
but
getting
still a lot of
colder,
life.
so
We've had, I don't want to be a,
slowly.
I know so many of you had a rough season. And let me tell you right now, let's just all as a collective just say next year will be better. And part of the fun of tomato gardening is planning for next season. So I hope that with my show that I can help you plan your wish list for next year. Oh, I meant to mention, I have a whole bunch of things I mean to mention, but just yesterday on so I have a Facebook, not only my personal Facebook profile, but I have a Facebook page we've had for a couple years now, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I uploaded to Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head my my dwarfs and my indeterminates that we grew in 2024. I've been meaning to get it up for weeks. It includes all the pictures of each variety, along with our overall rating and the Brix score. Brix, for those of you that may not know, measures the sugar content. So it will tell you the sweetness of a tomato, not necessarily making it better, because a lot of the best tomatoes we had this year didn't have the highest Brix score. But for cherries, I think it's helpful. If you like sweet cherries, that will measure it. And I think for micro dwarfs, it's really helpful too. What's missing still are long keepers. I want to do a separate album for long keepers. I didn't grow a lot of long keepers. I think 4 long keepers. But I want to start a separate album on the page for that. And then I have, 150 micro mini dwarfs that need to go up. Some really good stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But I also have not yet put up, even though the varieties are up with the rating and the Brix score, I want to put a more detailed description of each one. So I'm slowly going to be doing that as time permits. But I hope you take a look. It's at Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head on the Facebook, and take a look at that, and maybe that can help you add to your wish list also. And I do plan today, I'm going to showcase a couple more that I grew this year. I've got a little bit of an unboxing to do from a new to me vendor. And then a couple that I have not grown that I'm obsessed with right now that I have seeds for. Let's get back to some more comments. Michelle's here. Hey, Michelle and Rachel and Margie. Thanks for being here, everybody. 53 viewers right now. It's excellent. If you're just joining us, type in #tomato and keep your fingers crossed that the giveaway tool works. If for some reason it doesn't, I will go back in the comments, and everybody that wrote in #tomato, I'll have to do a separate drawing, but it sure would make my life a lot easier. EV Mux, if it works. Where's the giveaway thingy? #tomato. Let us hope. Let us hope. It was not doing well for us at the 5,000 member celebration, and we gave away a lot of prizes. If you want a prize and you haven't spoken to the person that was giving away the prize, we had a lot of people who donated, and thank you to all of you who did donate. I know there are also a few of you that volunteered because we couldn't handle getting more donations in just on the fly like that. It's helpful if we know ahead of time. But so many people wanted to donate, and we promised a separate drawing for those that couldn't join the live. I still plan on doing that. We still plan on doing that. I just trying to only do what I can, but hopefully soon. Hopefully, if not this week, hopefully next week. And I know Becca, Cynthia, I think there may be a couple more of you. So thank you for your patience. But hey, free seeds, right? You can't go wrong. All right, here it is. It's pronounced Harley, like a Harley Davidson. So I've been adding a at the end. I guess the Y was boyish for my mom, so she put an A. I like it, Harley. I like it a lot. Tree. Hi, Tree. I remember Tree. thank you for the last taste review. Now I have to find the raspberry beret. I almost made that one of my varieties to talk about today, raspberry beret. It's a great one. It's a really great one, and you're welcome. This is a variety by Bill Yoder from his Prince collection. He's been releasing collections, for those of you that may not know, devoted to right now artists of the 1980s. So his very first one that was released 2 years ago is Prince, and I grew everything in the Prince line just this year. I did not have them last year. Raspberry Beret is this amazing cherry. They're about, actually, I still have some upstairs. They've got great shelf life too. About this big, and they're beautiful, kind of a neon red with orange stripes. And they have a brick score of 10, which is, I've seen higher than 10, but not a lot. In fact, I had a pepper. Now I have to remember which one, but it was like 11.8. Had some spice to it, but 11.8. I'm not, I keep saying I'm not a pepperhead. I think I'm changing that. We do have another group, by the way, called Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap, for those of you that may not know that. I don't talk about it as much as I should. It's really a great group, and the three of us run it along with Ken Fry and Dorothy Wilkinson. Really they kind of take over that wonderful group. I haven't in the past been a pepperhead. This year I was determined to do more research and grow varieties pretty much only sweet, with the exception of Sugar Rush Peach and then a Calabrian chili I got from Italy a couple of years ago, last year rather. This is my second year growing it, because I like a little spice, but the super hot ones, I just don't have a whole lot of use for them. I guess I can make chili powder. I did receive a super hot one as a plant as a gift from Deb Toothaker that I'm looking to make spicy powder with. They're beautiful. But I was just growing so many of them and not finding a use. So I grew a lot of sweet ones, and I sought out to find two things. Mini dwarf peppers, like 24 inches or under for a lot of them, because I want to know, as obsessed as I am with micro dwarf tomatoes, I've become that way with peppers too, because I want to know what we can grow indoors. So I wanted things that were either short or very, very sweet, or both. And I found some fantastic peppers. I have to do a pepper episode coming up soon. I have to, because I've got some really great ones that you guys need to know about. So yeah, note to self, do a pepper episode. Let's get to more comments. Congrats to Kina and Jen and Lauren too. Maybe you get a break now and then. Honestly, I can't say that because the three of us do equal work. So yeah, we just work so well together. So it seemed silly that they weren't admins already. So I'm honored to work with them. I forget the exact story when I started the group, not to drudge us up, but maybe for those of you that may not know, a little history is in order. The three of us were in another group together, run by a not very nice man. And he was kind of a bully. Actually, he wasn't kind of a bully. He was a bully. And he pushed a friend of mine too far. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. He also wouldn't allow mention names of vendors or links, which I'm like, how can you run a group for tomato enthusiasts without those things? So I didn't initially create it as a way to like replace his group. I was still a member of his group. But I'm like, I'll start a collective, where vendors can come and they can share their stuff and, drama free, because that place was full of drama. And so he was a member of the group for a hot minute and then decided that he didn't like our group. Said we stole all this stuff from him, which wasn't true. Made a hate video about me and Jen. I mean, it was really ugly. But that's how TLC came to be. But anyway, within 24 hours of me starting it, Kina joined. Kina and I had done some really great trades before. She knew I was seeking micro dwarf tomatoes for this project, my ongoing project of growing all of the micros. And she hooked me up, and we had some really nice conversations and trades together. So she's like, if you need help, let me know. And I'm like, want to be a moderator? And she said yes. And then Jen was a moderator of that other group. And then maybe 24 hours later, maybe a couple days later, but not long, not much, she offered to. And I'm like, you're really going to be a moderator? She said, absolutely. They both believed in what I wanted to do. So right from the get-go, it's really just been, the three of us completely. So I don't want to make a big deal out of it because it really isn't like a promotion for them because we've been doing equal work already. But I just felt there's no reason for them to be listed as moderators when I want them to get equal, I don't know, equal billing in the whole thing, if you will. We are a trio. And we've got something really exciting coming up very soon, and I will leave it at that. But we just talked about it today, and I would say probably within the next couple days, wouldn't you, Keen? I don't know if Jen's watching, but be on the lookout. We will certainly let you know. Oh, Rowena, this is nice. I recommend that if you aren't part of the Facebook group that you join, it really is a fantastic community. Thanks, Rowena. It's really so great having you all. Keena's given little heart fingers. Ugh. Bugs, the life of an indoor grower. Yeah, getting a lot of congrats to Keena and Jen. Yeah, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Well deserved. Long should have happened long ago. Congratulations, Kathy. Lots of congratulations. Hope you guys are seeing all this. Sherva, Lisa. Oh, of course I remember you, 771 blah blah. I wish I could just off the top of my head look in my trade book and say, oh, 771 blah blah is this person. I'll get it down eventually, but of course I remember you. Who else haven't we gotten yet? I see D here. Oh, this is a nice Kelly. You look great, Lauren. Thank you. Thank you. I really feel, I think, and I talk about this in my other group all the time. If it's your first time watching, I run another group that I've run for January will be 10 years. It's called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. I've lived with lupus and fibromyalgia for 23, 24 years. Got it when I was in my early 30s. I was raising 2 toddlers and got sick. And so it's been an, over 20 year, I don't want to say battle. I don't like that word, but I hit a rock bottom 11 years ago, used alcohol as my method of self-medicating from not only the physical and the emotional pain, because that's where I find when you get a chronic illness or a life-altering injury or something, doctors will help you with the physical part, but they don't tell you about the emotional part, of your life all of a sudden changing like that overnight. It's a lot to deal with, and nobody talks about it. So, and that's, I think in hindsight, I think I was using the alcohol more for that. Thankfully, it didn't last long, but it did get bad. I had a rock bottom day, June 20th, 2013. I was fortunate enough to go to a special rehab for those with chronic pain and illness, where I got sober, and then I learned healthier ways of coping with chronic pain and illness and dealing with the emotional aspect. And so that's when I started the group, because I looked for groups that were positive online, and there were zero, and there are still zero. I don't think there's any other groups that have started that. But how did I get on that subject? Oh, I know why. Long story to tell this part. We do set daily intentions in the morning for anybody that wants to do it, just to give us like a loose roadmap to help us through our day. A lot of people lose their jobs and hobbies and stuff because they can no longer do it. And so you're left with these wide open days that aren't, established for you already. So, if we set a daily intention, something as small as taking a shower, it can often help us just to have a roadmap written in pencil that you're not confined to, but it can kind of give you, I think, a little motivation to get through the day. And we talked a lot in the beginning of the group about rest days, but people felt guilty saying rest day. They felt like it was lazy. But and I know there's so many of you out there that live with chronic pain and illness because you tell me, and believe it or not, 20% of the population lives with some kind of chronic pain and illness. It's a lot, 1 in 5 people. But anyway, so we decided to have a contest very early on in the group to rename rest days. And the contest winner is reboot days. So we've used that term. So I use it. And I think whether you live with chronic pain illness or not, I think reboot days are essential to our self-care. Self-care is really paramount, because if you don't take care of you, it's like being on an airplane when the flight attendants are showing you, how to take care of everybody in your party should there, God forbid, be an emergency. They tell you to put your mask on first and then on your children, which seems like, no way, I'm putting it on my kids first. But if you're not good for you, you won't be good for anybody else. That's that thinking. And so I believe that with ourselves too. Self-care, be good for you, and you can be good for everybody else. So anyway, very long story to get to this, but thank you, Kelly. I think my self-care is making me shine a little bit more now. I appreciate it. Oh, one wolf is here. I made it. Yay. As typical, we're 40 minutes in. I haven't talked about a single tomato yet, so have no fear. Make sure you type in #tomato. Hi, Anna. Glad you're here. Love that, Craig. She says, I know. Me too. I felt guilty even saying to him, like, we canceled the show and Jen and I are going on this Friday. I felt a bit like he must have been thinking, like, oh my gosh, that girl's crazy. I just lived through a hurricane. We just got power back. But not Craig. He's our friend. Not just me and Jen and Kina. He's all of our friend. And you feel that way every time you watch him in a show. If you've never watched one of our Tomato Talk Lives with him, their episodes are recorded. You can find them on both my YouTube channel and Jen Joy's YouTube channel. And they're worth a watch. Jen and I often say we can just sit there like this, not say a word, and just let him talk. I know he's sharing a couple slides with me of things he wants to talk about tomorrow night. I haven't seen them yet, so we don't even have like a topic, but we really don't need one with Craig. So come with your questions. If there's anything you grew this year that you have a question on from the Dwarf Tomato Project, or his knowledge goes far beyond Dwarf Tomato Project. Come with your questions. He wants to answer them. Believe me, he wants to answer them. Rooted in Texas is here. Hey there. All right, I'm only 18 minutes behind here in comments. Oh, Rolanda says, first frost expected tonight, so I have to go home, pick all of my green tomatoes and peppers, and trim all my herbs that aren't cold hardy. I'm going to look right now at WeatherBug is the app I use at the 10-day forecast. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but nothing yet. The lows don't go below 41. So thankfully in the next 10 days, and they're actually going to be up in the 50s at nighttime lows. Daytime temperatures are chilly though. They're cool. Today is 57. It's a bit chilly, but next week it's getting back up in the near 70, 50s. This is Fahrenheit, by the way. I keep trying to get better about Celsius too, because I know so many of you watch from overseas, and we here in America do things the back asswards way, unlike the rest of the world with the metric system. Try to get better. I'm getting better at centimeters and meters, but anyway, yeah. So I've got at least 10 days. If you don't know, this isn't about tomatoes, but if you grew basil, you can actually take a cutting from your basil, put it in water inside, and it can grow all winter long. So much like tomatoes, where you can trim, take a sucker from in between the stem and the side stems, there will often be like another stem that grows in the armpit of both of those things. You take those off. I love suckers because I create multiple plants from one plant with them, and I create varieties and I duplicate varieties so I can have fall tomatoes, which I did on a couple things this year. I did it with prime rib, earth angel, purple rain, raspberry beret. I did a couple of them. I wanted to talk about raspberry beret for the member who shared a little while ago. Well, let me do the basil first. Anyway, if you have a favorite basil plant that's still alive, I know a lot of mine are dead, but I've got a couple, including my favorite, which I can't shut up about, the African blue basil, and also the Mariani African and opal basil cross from experimental seed. Why can I not think of it now? Experimental seed company? Why does that not sound right? Seed network? Experimental farm network. Ugh, that was going to drive me crazy. Amazing site if you've never looked at it. Experimental Farm Network. They have all kinds of unique things. Look, my side tangent is going off on another tangent here. Ugh. But anyway, the Rihani African and Opal Basil Cross is like an F6 generation now, and it's this gorgeous variety. I know I've given seeds to some of you. Kina and Jen have both grown it. So every plant is different. Some have ruffles, some don't. Some have more purple than green. The leaves are they're kind of tie-dye and funky. Take a sucker from the armpit, stick it in water. It'll grow roots within a week, and you can either keep it in water or put it in soil, put it in your hydroponic, like Arrow Garden, whatever. But I like to grow basil indoors all year long. So if you haven't had frost yet and you still have basil alive, do that. You can even, just get in our grocery stores here in the United States, they sell basil in the produce section that's with roots. Stick that in, soil or keep it in water indoors just to get the benefits of gardening during the winter. All right. So that was a tangent about the basil. Another tangent, I wanted to go back to raspberry beret. Remember who was it? Now, the viewer who mentioned they were growing raspberry beret. Oh gosh, I forget. But that's the one that has a brick score of 10, one of Bill Yoder's. I meant to talk more about him too. Crazy person. That was one that I started indoors last year for our Micropalooza. And I did successfully grow it in a 1-gallon pot. It's big. It's a mini dwarf. But yeah, in a 1-gallon grow bag, which I'll show you what that looks like. This is... I've shown this a few times. This is a 1-gallon grow bag. So I had raspberry beret growing in this indoors, and I meant to start it again this year and for Micropalooza. I still have time. This little beauty I showed, I think, on our 5,000 member celebration. This is my newest micro dwarf cross. It's a cross between Candy Berry and Tiny Totem. So as you can see, it's got the glossiness of Candy Berry, but much larger fruits. And I've got 3 of these plants growing. So looking a little funky in the color, probably needs some mycorrhizal fungi, but that's exciting, right? So anyway, I use 1-gallon grow bags for just about all of my micros indoors. And for those of you that may want to start raspberry beret indoors, as long as you have, a light source that can go on it, I can say I have successfully grown it indoors, and it is a fantastic variety. As part of his Prince collection. I don't think I'm sharing anything from the Prince collection today, but I've shared many times. I also was fortunate enough to be able to grow his Bill Yoder's Depeche Mode collection this year. Thank you to Linda Wicker Downing, who gifted me with seeds for that. And I know I shared, I took suckers from those and shared plants with a couple of you. Cynthia, I know I shared with you. Heidi, definitely. Jen. Although Jen got seeds from Linda too. I think she got all but one growing. But anyway, the Depeche Mode line was fabulous. And I got 2 of my all-time favorite tomatoes out of it, including my number 1 new favorite, that unseeded malachite box, Malachita viashkatulka. And that's a variety called Suffer Well, which I wonder if I still have the slide on it. It's fantastic. If I can share that, let's see. I've shared it a million times. I don't think I have it. Wait, let me look one more place. Still getting used to this new what do you want to call it? Platform. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at once and I can't think it through. Anyway, if you've watched the show, I've shared it a million times. Suffer Well is just about as close to a 10 out of 10 as I can get. I think we officially rated it a 9.5 out of 10. that really, like, if I could only have one tomato for the rest of my life, and thank God I don't, but if I did, it would be that one. It's like a party in your mouth. It's sweet, it's tangy for me, and we all have different taste buds. It's all subjective, of course, but that for me is the most delicious tomato I've ever had. And it's pretty tough when I unseat Malachi Box. And look, I'm not taking anything away from Malachi Box. That will be in my forever grow list forever. In fact, I used it this year for a new indeterminate cross that I made. Suffer Well. It was like when Rob and I tasted it, it's like the world stopped and everything went in slow motion. And we looked at each other like, is this real? Because it's that good. And Shake the Disease was another one. We either gave I think we gave a 9 out of 10 to Shake the Disease, another one. So that's his Depeche Mode line. He also has just released for next year Duran Duran and Beastie Boys. So for any of you that may not know, Bill is in our group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. And you can find him. He takes orders through Facebook. So you want to friend him or private message him, and he can send you a list of all his varieties. We talk about it a lot in TLC because he's a really talented breeder and a nice guy. And speaking of him, he was supposed to be our guest for next month's Tomato Talk Live, but he's not doing great after his recovery from back surgery, so we're going to postpone that and hopefully have him back soon. So what else did I need to share before we talk tomatoes? Oh gosh, let's see. Oh, Jen just did a video on the MMMM swap, which takes place over in tomatojunction.com, which is like an old time message board type website. I don't even know how to describe it. I noticed that's how Jen described it on her video also. But make sure you look at Jen's videos on her channel, Jen Joy. And she takes you step by step through how to participate in this swap. He prefers, I think the timeline prefers for people to say they're participating by November 1st, getting all their seeds to him by November 15th. But I don't know if I do still have the banner up. Hang on, let me do it now. It's tomatojunction.com. And when you join over there to become a member, you'll want to look, I think it's in general discussion, you'll see a separate thread for MMMM swap. And it's a bit difficult and challenging to navigate. That's why you want to watch Jen's video, because it's fantastic. Thank you, Jen, for doing that for us. Now, why did I bring that up? Oh, because I just wanted to share about Jen's video. I was going to share some of my tomatoes up on the kitchen counter, but I forgot to get them. I do have a couple long keepers I want to share, though. All right, so first I want to get to a small unboxing from a website that I didn't find out about all that long ago, but I didn't think I could order from them. And a few of you, 2 friends from Canada, were trying to help me get a variety that I really wanted called My Pleasure or Mon Plaisir. Forgive my French pronunciation. And this site in Canada has it, along with some other specialty Canadian varieties, but I didn't see a United States option, even though they claim they ship all over. But my friend from the group from Canada helped me, and she shared with me. The site is called terrepromise.ca. And to order from the United States, you'll look down the list of the countries they ship to. You won't find United States, which is why I was confused. You want to use the option of Etats Unis, which I assume is French for United States. So that's really important. But let me share with you, I ordered 6 varieties from there that I want to show you. This is what the site looks like. Let me reduce me and make that bigger so you can see. They don't have a lot, but what they have is really beautiful. And they've got, a lot of it is in French, but they've got vegetables, herbs, flowers, roots, and tubers. They offer conferences and workshops, but really nice color photos. They've got beans here, potatoes. I don't know if they send potatoes overseas, but what I was interested in was tomatoes. And the one in particular that I really wanted to get, and that, of course, that one variety took me down the rabbit hole. So shipping to the United States, by the way, was $9, I think. Oh, and there is an option to get English over French, I'm noticing here. So let me go to my account and go to my orders. Is this all showing? Yeah, we'll go to my orders, and looks like I ordered September 17th, and it arrived here. Gosh, it came like a week or so ago, maybe even 2 weeks. It was in an envelope that looks like this. I didn't even notice this until now. Even on the address, they've got, in the mailing address, Etats Unis, and up here too. Etats Unis. So I guess I'm the only one that didn't know that stood for United States. Learn something new every day. But you want to check them out. So $35.46 in US dollars. Clearly, this isn't my biggest order in the world. But what they have is really special. So looks like they were $3.78 per pack. How many are in each pack? I think it says, if I'm reading the packet right, that can't be right, is it? I think the packs say, oh no, never mind. I thought it was saying 70 seeds, but it's not saying 70 seeds. It's saying that's the maturity date. Well, we can open up a variety. And look at this. This is just my, what do you call it? Shipping list. So I can click on there and go to what I ordered. So this first one's called, and this was on my wish list too. Those of you that speak French will definitely get a kick out of my French here. Meme de Bussy tomato. The seed packets look like this. Hang on. Seed packets look like this. They are in French. Let's take a look to see how many are inside, because that's important. Not sure if they're, yeah, so the seeds are just freely floating around in there. Let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Looks like about 22 seeds in this package. Oop, 23, 24. Don't open seed packets on your counter here. It's probably 25 seeds, I'm guessing. It's probably something stuck to the bottom. So that's generous for $3.78. And I'm not positive if that's US dollars or Canadian dollars. But let me tell you about this tomato. As usual, I like unique varieties, unique to different regions of the world, or those that have a great story. And I've got a really great one with a story to share in a couple minutes. This one, Meme de Bussy tomato, says in 1995, a bag of 200 seeds was discovered in the attic. Oop, am I showing it? No, I'm not. Hang on. All right, back to the tomato. Was discovered in the attic of a house that had been abandoned for several years in Saint Joseph de Bussy by a carpenter making repairs. Neighbors said there hadn't been a vegetable garden at this address for over 60 years. Mr. Gerard Parent, to whom they were given, tried to grow them, but only 3 germinated. From these plants come all the mimes de Bussy known in Quebec. So nice looking red. I'll be honest, I got it for the story. Days to maturity, 85 to 100 days. Yeah, they've got all kinds of great information on here. I'm assuming that's Canadian dollars, and I'm not positive of the exchange rate at this point, but I'm pretty confident when I tell you they seem to be able to ship to most countries. Let me put up the website again. terrypromise.ca, not com, but CA for Canada. And that's why I was confused about them shipping to the United States, because they seem to be able, like the list had countries, like all the countries, but they didn't have the US, which I thought was strange. And I did email them, but I didn't hear back, so perhaps they didn't see it. But make sure if you are in the US, you choose the option Etats Unis when you're going to check out. So yeah, 25 seeds for $3.78. That's Meme de Bussy. Okay, the next one, I like how my shipping list here just has them all for me, so I don't have to go searching. Next one, this was on my wish list too. Minuit, Montreal. Let's read about that. It is dark like the streets of Montreal in the wee hours of the morning. Early, because winter comes quickly in Quebec, it grows just as well in a pot on a balcony on the plateau as in the ground. Love that. Made from two varieties, the Noir de Crème, which I know is black creme, and the Teton de Venus, so cross between Teton de Venus and black creme. It has kept the color dark of the first and shape and density of the second. On the other hand, she is much earlier than her two parents and is very productive. Our team, during taste tests, detected a steak flavor in it. It is quite stable, although it could sometimes have a little irregular shapes, but we continue our work of selection to create you a perfect tomato. Fruits are a little smaller than a tennis ball, regular foliage, little disease. That sounds great. Smaller than a tennis ball. So it's like saladette, globe sized. Gosh, I forgot that it had black creme in it. That's one of my all-time faves. Sounds good, right? Let me get to some more comments. Kathleen, your first frost may be tonight. Wishing you all luck who are having to pick for your first frost. Oh, Rowena's had 2 frosts already. Kina's had 2 frosts already too. It was in the 30s like yesterday in the morning when we woke up. But yeah, the long-term 10-day forecast looks like it's not going to get that chilly in the morning, at least for the next 10 days. Kim's here. Hi, Kim. Glad you're here. Oh, Julia, I haven't seen you in a while. Definitely adding more loan keepers next season. Hi, Julia. Glad you're here. I'm going to be showcasing 2 long keepers today if I ever get to them. Actually have some to show too. Some really good ones. One of them is actually, both of them are pretty hard to find. So I'm happy to showcase them. I'm happy that I saved a lot of seeds. And I know they're looking for long keepers in that MMMM swap. Long keepers, Kazulas, micro dwarfs, and Jarson's Kazulas, long keepers, and micro dwarfs. That's what Gary Fitzgerald's looking for over in the MMMM swap. If you're able to donate anything, and you don't have to, but if you are sending an envelope with seeds and you have those, they're looking for them. They're just looking to get into micro dwarfs over there, where in TLC we've been like into them for quite a while. So if you have extra seeds for micro dwarfs that you can donate, they're looking for them. Oh, I'm very behind in comments. Hi, Karen, cutting out sunflower heads. I did that 2 weeks ago. Jen gave me some really great sunflowers. I cut off the heads. Sashka's here. Hey, Sashka, glad you're here. I'm sorry I'm so behind in comments, you guys. O1 Wolf, I think I heard you say you have a list of prolific tomatoes. As much fun as it was buying seeds from all over the world, I did not get as many tomatoes as I was hoping for. Going for prolific next. I don't have a list of prolific tomatoes, but that's a fantastic idea. I'm going to write that down. That's a great idea for an episode, because I had some great, I'm creating a list already, prolific tomatoes. I had some very productive tomatoes this year. Not sure where you heard that, or maybe I've already said that's a great idea, but thank you for reminding me because that's really a good idea. I agree. Sometimes, we put so much work into starting the seeds and coddling them, growing them indoors until we bring them outside. And so often there are certain varieties, especially a lot of heirlooms, and it does depend on where you are in the country too. Your soil, there's a lot of factors, but to grow this great big plant and only get a few tomatoes can be a real bummer. So I will share my most prolific tomatoes. They may, I would say most of ours were prolific this year, but there were some that were more prolific than others. I think that the mushroom compost, which I sing high praises of the past 2 years, I think that has a lot to do with our production because it's been insane. We've grown Cherokee Purple every year for like 30 years, and we didn't grow it this year, but last year when we grew it, the thing was unstoppable. And when years past, we'd get 5 or 6 tomatoes. So I think the missing link there was mushroom compost, but I know it's not available everywhere in the world. Hi, my friend Sridevi. Hi there. Sridevi's down in Florida. For those of you that are down in Florida, we send our prayers to you all and hopes that everything's okay, the devastation down there. And prior to that, if I haven't already said, those of you affected by Hurricane Helene, I know there's so many in North Carolina, Georgia that have been affected. So I did hear from Sridevi earlier, and she's okay. I do have a lot of friends down in that area too from my other group. So glad to see you here, my friend. Glad to see you still have power. Margie, I really love your Facebook page. It's brilliant. I'm so glad. So glad you could be here. Sasha randomly says, I'm a part of both groups. They are a comfort for me. I'm so glad to hear that. Whatever is comfortable for you is what's best for you. Sandra's here. Hi there. Thanks for joining us. Just want to make sure that I want to keep things moving, but I want to get anybody who haven't shared yet. Sherman says, received my Lauren, Keena, and Jennifer seeds this week from Tomato Eden. So excited. That's such an honor that that you ordered our seeds. For those of you that may not know, Tatiana Tomato Eden named seeds after me, Jennifer, and Keena, the three musketeers, and we're very happy. And then not a moderator, admin of our group, but she's become friends with Hope Foster, and there's a new heart variety called Hope's Heart that she released a couple weeks ago, I think. I just got seeds for that too, so quite an honor to have tomato seeds named after us. And thanks for ordering our tomatoes. I can't wait to grow them. Lisa says, love PLC. Please do a pepper episode. I will. I have to remind myself because I just default to tomatoes, but I'm blown away by some really great peppers this year. Really great peppers. Oh, thank you, Missy. Hi, Missy. How is your Cinderella storm affect her? So Cinderella is still out at sea. They were supposed to dock in Port Canaveral tomorrow, which is one of the highly affected places. So they have rerouted. They are in the Bahamas at their Disney's private island. I think they went back out to sea, but they are navigating their way around the storm. Thank you for thinking of her. I've been worried too. She actually, Cinderella sent me a link yesterday or the day before too, where you can click on it and you can see their ship wherever it is, which is really great. Doctors aren't great with lupus people. They're not. It's really such a misunderstood thing. The research isn't great. And doctors, they all have their specialties, but they're not psychologists. So we really need that emotional aspect. I would argue that the emotional pain is often worse than the physical pain. Let's see. Let me try to get caught up here. I'm 30 minutes behind. Oh, thank you, Kelly. You are a strong role model. You probably don't think of yourself like that, but you really are. It's not an easy road to travel, so well done. Thank you, Kelly. I do appreciate that. I try to be really mindful of how much I talk about that here in the tomato episodes, because I would think it's probably not all that interesting to all of you who don't live with chronic pain and illness. But if you do live with chronic pain and illness, I wonder if I have the logo here. I don't, but the group is called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. And it's not telling you to be grateful and just suck it up and deal and look on the bright side. It's not about that at all. It's just trying to help us to be more solution based and work on the things that we actually have control over. And we have control over our mindset and what we do in the present moment. And we use things like mindfulness and intentions and daily gratitude practice, 3 things you did well today. We've got a bunch of offshoot groups too, like a journaling club and all that. So if you're interested on becoming a member, we would love to have you. We have over 11,000 members. But I am surprised at how many of you reached out to me telling me that you live with chronic illness too. And when I say chronic illness, that is very generalized. Pain is pain. So if you've got, trauma in your life, emotional pain, depression, anxiety, that's all pain, and that our group can help you. Even no participation necessary, but maybe you'll find a nugget that can help you. So Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. I would love to see some of you there. Many of you have joined already. Satya says, my tomatoes are finally starting to ripen, having veggie bacon, lettuce, and rosa de burn. Unfortunately, my Jarson 10 is still lagging. Yeah, I've got maybe 10 days, 36 degrees next week. Oh, you are such a trooper, Satya. Which veggie bacon are you having? I just made the other day, there's a mushroom veggie bacon that is out of this world, called My Bacon, MY, because like my as in mycorrhizal, as in mushrooms. It's insane. It's so, so good. Candy berry, I grew it. I tasted it. Fantastic flavor. Glad you recommended it, Lauren. I'm so glad. That's a really good one. And Nicole says, Lucky Garden just posted a review on Bill Yoder's Depeche Mode tomatoes. Yeah, he did. He does great videos. And Linda's sharing the same thing. And Sandra's sharing the same thing. Yeah, I did watch it just this morning, I think. Bill and I are friends, so I reached out to him and oops, I just noticed. I did know this. I'll get to it in a minute, Kim. I told him he did a great job, and he was in a lot of pain filming that segment. And I told him you couldn't tell. He's such a good guy. I know, Kim, you did send me the Meme de Bûche a little while back. I noticed that after I ordered it. I get so caught up in like, ooh, this is a special French Canadian one. Oh, this is, and I think it's one that I haven't logged yet. I've got like a really big drawer of things I haven't logged yet, which I need to get better at. I keep them like here next to me when they come in with every intention of logging in my spreadsheet, and then it takes a back seat, and then I move it to a drawer not to be seen again. So my apologies that I know you did, and thank you very much. You sent me some other great varieties too, Kim. Thank you. I see Riverdale Gardens is here. I came to your trade page just yesterday, and I will be getting your seeds out soon. First frost tonight, most likely. Sure, a good question. Are you guys considering a frost 32 degrees? That's a good question. That is what's typical, but I've had 32-degree weather without frost before. So, yeah, Sasha says good question. I agree. It is a good question. For me, that's where, if I see a 32 in that 10-day forecast, that's where I am going to pick my tomatoes. But like I said, I've had 32 before and no frost. So maybe it depends. Maybe it depends on the amount of moisture in the air. Harley, pronouncing it for the first time. I find roadside to stay good for a while. Do you? I've been packing for the MMMM. This is my first time joining, and I'm very thankful and excited. It's my first time joining, too. Are you roadside meaning the microdwarf? If so, yes, I find that to be have very good shelf life. It's a good variety. So yeah, that would be technically a micro dwarf, but also micro and long keeper, I would say. I find a lot of micro dwarfs to be long keepers. There's really only a few that I've grown that don't have great shelf life. Most of them I find really do. They can stick around for well over a month. Also, B times Macbeth, which is one I brought back to life. I've been giving seeds out to many of you. That's a Tom Wagner variety. That is a micro, really more of a mini dwarf. I think it got to like 16 inches, 16 to 20 inches, I want to say. Oh, weird. I'll tell you why in a minute. That's a micro mini and a long keeper too. I was just going to say, I never think to tell people to like my episodes. And then the very next comment is this from Teresa Begin. Shoestring Elegance. Like, comment, subscribe, and get notifications. Thank you. That's weird that I just thought of that because I never think of that. Or maybe I saw your comment and didn't realize I did out of the corner of my eye. But thank you, Teresa. You guys are the best. Appreciate it. Tomato therapy is the best. That's also funny because I almost wore a t-shirt today that says, excuse me, tomatoes are my therapy. OMG, my bacon is so good, isn't it? ShopRite has it. I'm tempted to go up and get a packet to show all you guys. If you guys are interested, I can go up and grab a pack. It's great. And not even found in the health food store, just my regular ShopRite, which is our local, it is a chain, but it's our local grocery store. I think New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, maybe. Delicious. Really great ingredients, too. Very few yucky things in it. Morningstar bacon Sathi is using. Yours sounds good. I also tried Good Earth brand. Morningstar is probably the least healthy, but I love the taste. It's a good one. It is a good one. And sure, I don't have anything but lower than 39 in the next 10 days. I would think you're okay. I really should know this better, but I'm thinking it probably has a lot to do with how much moisture is in the air, yes? It can't just be temperature, I would think. Sandra says ours have been light frost, but yeah, usually our garden area is slightly warmer and protected, so I've been okay so far, but I watch the grass or my windshield for moisture. And Harley says, yes, roadside micro from Tomato Eden. She sent them to me before they were on her website, but even now there's little to no info online about it. It's a great one. I was thinking of sending that one in too, so now I will not, because you're right. I'd gotten it, and I know Kina got it too. It was a freebie from an order, and at the time she didn't even have them listed on her website. I'm not sure. Did you say she does now? It is on now. And Cariarte seeds, they now have it listed on their website too. I'm not sure how stable it is because I think somebody else, and Kina can agree, Kina can say that this was true. We saw somebody else sharing it maybe on Instagram or something, and it was like a totally different color or maybe even striped, but ours were red varieties, and they lasted, not only the fruits lasting a long time, but the plant lasted a long time also. Sandra's a fan of turkey bacon, cannot get the rest of the family to eat it. You guys want me to go get the mushroom bacon? I can show you if you're interested. Had bow mango for lunch. Yum. Now, my bow mango's been done for a long time. That one didn't do so well for me. Yeah, Kina, I agree. When you grew it last winter, there was nothing to find about it at all. Same. In fact, I remember you and I going through a lot to translate it because I saw some things that said curbside, roadside, because I think we only had the Russian variety of, or no, I guess it did say roadside with the Russian translation, but because we could find nothing about it, you and I went down the rabbit hole trying to find more about it. And the bottom line was we couldn't find anything more about it. But yes, Cariarte and now Tomato Eden has it as well. GT Jr. grows it. Alaska's here. Hey there. Glad you're here. Harley says mine looks exactly like her pictures, but I collected seeds and we'll regrow them out and see what happens. Yep, mine, I forget what her pictures are like, but it was just a red kind of elongated bullet cherry, right? I've grown it twice now just to save more seeds. All right, let's get back to this unboxing. So last one was this, which is a black Krim cross. Let's go back to my order. Am I sharing? Yes. What's next? Petite Moineau tomato. Petite Moineau. This currant tomato was discovered at the Chateauguay region in the 1940s. It is a family favorite because its many small red fruits are a delight for children. Make no mistake about it, the real Petite Moineau tomato bears 7 fruit on its bunches. Otherwise, it is an imitation. Interesting. So I guess there's a lot of cuckoo varieties out there. Cuckoos are things that are grown that aren't true to type. So I wonder if they mean exactly 7 fruits. It sounds like they mean exactly 7 fruits. 7 fruits on its bunches. Well, now I'm very curious. Now I really need to grow it to see if there's 7 fruits. Harley says, yes, ma'am. Red with a small red nipple. Oh, very slick and shiny. Mine too. And Kina agrees. Yeah, Kina, do you remember who was sharing a picture of it where it looked different? I remember, I think I showed it to you, and I'm like, and then I asked you what yours looked like. I feel like it was Cariarty, but on her site, I think she shows them as red. Anthony's here. Hey, Anthony. I made it. Hello, Lauren. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you, Anthony. So make sure you guys, I say this reluctantly, type in hashtag tomato to win. I'll give away 5 prizes, and I'm really hoping for the best because we could not get this thing working at our 5,000 member episode, and it was a nightmare. So keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah, keeping my fingers crossed. If we can't get this giveaway tool to work, and actually I posted about it. I don't think I shared this with you guys. I shared with Kina and Jen and Michael. After the 5,000 member celebration, I was discouraged. There's a Facebook group for EV Mucks, and I shared what happened and said, this may be a deal breaker for me to use this platform. And the owner, one of the founders of EV Mucks, offered to come to my next live and get it working for me, which was very nice. I don't believe he's here today, but if he is, would love for you to help me out because I did everything they suggested. It wasn't a fact of me doing anything wrong. It was a fact of hopefully just a kink. All right, let's get back to more tomatoes because I've got other things I want to share too. Okay. Next one is called Le Doux. Le Doux, Le Doux, for you and you and you. Da, 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 da. This one says, we don't know a lot about the history of this tomato, apart from the fact that it comes from Quebec. It's a potato leaf variety of tomato. The leaves, therefore, look more like potato leaves than those of a classic tomato. Of the beefsteak type, its flesh is generous, dense, sweet, dark pink in color, and contains few seeds. 1 slice is enough to fill a sandwich. This is a very productive variety that will ensure you an excellent harvest. So what got me on this one, obviously productive, but comes from Quebec. Since I was on this site, I was really into getting stuff from the area. I don't think everything I got is from Canada, but I think there's a Spanish variety in here too. And speaking of Quebec, here's the next one, which I'd never heard of before. Quebec 2473. Tomato developed at the St. Hyacinthe Experimental Station. Experimental is what got me on this one. Potato foliage and determinate habit, which makes it more a compact plant, also grabbed me, but just as productive as its congeners. I'm guessing that are things that it shares genes with. So Quebec 2473 kind of looked like a long keeper to me, but don't want to spread rumors. It doesn't say it's a long keeper. So that sounds interesting. 2 more. For you. I think I skipped a couple on here. Or maybe they put in gifts. Nope, here's one. Okay, this one's from This is called Spanish Lefebvre tomato. Lefebvre tomato. Am I showing this? In the 1960s, Mr. Q. Reginald Lefebvre owned a farm in Saint-Rémy, Quebec. One day, some Spaniards asked him for a few acres to grow their tomatoes. He attempts and discovers by rubbing shoulders with them the potential of one of their variety of tomatoes. He cultivates it in turn. In 1981, for lack of succession, the farm was sold, but the tomato went down in history. So, it doesn't say it's a determinate. It does look like a determinate, but I don't think it is. Oh, here it says the quantity. There's 35 seeds in that envelope. So for $3.78, I'm assuming Canadian, that's a good deal. I loved the story on this one. And then one more I missed. Let's take a look here. Here it is. Or did I already do this one? Did I order two of them? Nope. Mon Plaisir, which was the original one that had been on my wish list, and this is the way I found the site through a few members who were telling me about it. One in particular who was really, really trying to help me out. Mon Plaisir, which translates to my pleasure. And it says, in 2016, a lady approached me at a seed festival telling me that her mother-in-law had a tomato called Mon Plaisir, which had long since ceased to be available in the catalogs, but whose seeds she kept and cultivated years later. We exchanged contact details, then I forget the discussion until a few months later when I received a letter in the mail. Inside, a beautiful card with a paper on it, which were pasted about 15 seeds. Those of the Mon Plaisir lost tomato. Here is what Miss Frappier told me when I contacted her following her letter. Quote, we used to order our seeds through the catalogs of W.H. Perron and another company, I believe it's called Norseco. We produced tomatoes in greenhouses in Abitibi and Matamic near Lassar. Oh, my French is pitiful. It was the Frappier greenhouses in 1976. We made a few plants to sell, but it was mostly market gardening. I really liked these tomatoes. They were making long bunches of beautiful cherry tomatoes. We stopped production in the early 2000s, and I would say I've been saving my seeds for 20 to 25 years already because the variety didn't appear any longer in my catalog. I couldn't find it anywhere. I think it was replaced by the Sweet 100 variety or Sweet Mignon. I tried it, but I much preferred the Mon Plaisir. So for those of you that like the Sweet 100, and I know a lot of us like Sweet 100, so preferred the Mon Plaisir over Sweet 100. So we had the pleasure of making it available in turn. Thanks to the Frappier family for saving this variety. Thanks to Renee Paquette for providing us with a vintage photo from the 1987 Semences Laval catalog. How cool is that? Clearly that one is not only it beating Sweet 100 for me, but the story. So once again, let me just go to the main page. It's Terry Promise. Let me share the banner here for those of you that may want to order. terrapromise.ca. And again, if you're ordering from the United States, you cannot find the country that says United States. You need to go to Etats Unis. And even when I had it on converting to English, that still showed up. So thank you to my friend who reached out to them for me and found out that I could do that. Very, very grateful. Nice new vendor. Shipping was great. I love so far what I've gotten. So we'll see what their seeds are like next season. So then I have some things I'm obsessed with that I'd like to share with you guys. We're already at an hour and a half, of course. Yeah, Kina, I thought it was her too for Roadside. I thought she shared that hers, like in a post or something, that hers was Roadside. Maybe she screwed up because I'm pretty sure if you look on Cariarte right now, I know she has them for sale. Pretty sure she's got just regular red tomatoes like ours and Harley's now too. GT Jr. grows in Alaska. You Grow Row is responsible for him or her subscribing here. Thank you, you Grow Row. Thank you, Rolanda, for promoting us. I appreciate it. Yvette, someone who speaks French much better than I do. Petit Monio will grow like a monster and give hundreds of very small tomatoes. What do you think of it, Yvette? Be honest. Was it good? I'm a big fan of Coyote, which sounds similar to that. It's a yellow, opaque tomato that Craig talks about in Epic Tomatoes. I've grown it for years and actually have a few crosses. I'm stabilizing with it now. I love Coyote and I love the crosses. But if it's like spoon tomato, I'm not really interested. I don't mind small, but I don't want annoying. And so let us know what you think of it, Yvette. Yay. Riverdale Garden says the Jarson 1 tricolor was one of the best tomatoes I've ever eaten. That makes me feel great. I agree wholeheartedly. That is, it's one of my favorite all-time tomatoes. I gave out a lot of seeds from last year's crop. I grew it last year and I grew it again this year. Both were the same for me this year. The thing with Jarsons is they're not stable. There's a lot of variants of them. That one seems to be stable. Those who I gave seeds to who grew it this year seem to have a really similar looking tomato to what I grew. I think there was one exception, but it's also delicious. It's a cross between Great White and Kazula 25. I grew 2 different Jarson ones this year. The Jarson one, I always call it my Jarson 1 tricolor. I had nothing to do with breeding this tomato. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish. Like Kina posted a bunch of Jarsons lately, and Kina and I have been talking a lot. Like, why don't you call yours Jarson 1 this or Jarson 7 this? Because there's so many different ones, and if people are looking for seeds, we need a way to distinguish it. So I say my Jarson 1 tricolor because I grew it last year, gave out seeds, grew it again this year. But make no mistake, it was bred by Jarson in Poland. I'm really happy to hear you loved it. Sometimes when it's been a year since you've grown something, I start to think, did I really love it that much, or just did it look really cool? I loved it that much. I did. And the Jarson 1 striped heart, which was same cross but looked a very different tomato, and I'll share about that soon. I do share it in my album on Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head on Facebook. That tasted almost exactly the same. It was unbelievable and looked completely different. Actually had antho at the top, which I normally don't like, but thank goodness it did not have that antho flavor on it. Anyway, I'm glad to hear that, Riverdale Gardens. Sandra says, Le Deux. I have that surname in my family tree. Nice. For somebody who doesn't speak French, Blanchard, my maiden name is French. You'd think I would know it better. 70 of us in here. Show Lauren some love and hit that like button. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it. Montplaisir is shiny. It does look shiny. Have you tried winter sowing? I'm going to try that next year. I'm assuming you mean winter sowing in like milk jugs and things like that. I have not, but Jen has. Jen Joy, subscribe to her YouTube channel. She has done a lot with winter sowing, I believe, and has several videos on it. I grow microdwarfs indoors. I've also tried, I have a video from last year I did using Wall of Waters to be able to plant tomatoes out earlier. It's like these water pockets that you form a teepee around the tomato. I know a lot of you up north use these as a season extender type thing. So I do grow tomatoes indoors, micros and minis indoors. I'm thinking of trying, I know Harley said she was going to try to grow Lauren tomato indoors. I'm considering trying that, and also my indeterminate cross that I made using malachite box this year. Just thinking today, Kina is crossing something right now, and she's looking to plant it. I'm like, and it's not a micro, but maybe I'll try growing it. If I get one tomato out of it, that's all I need to grow out another generation and quicker. So we'll see. Mike wants to know, has anyone grown Bali? I'm interested in a trade if anyone has some extra seeds. All right. Mike, who's Harley's fiance, if anybody has Bali, I have not grown Bali. Don't know anything about it. How cute. It means my pleasure. Yeah, I agree. Yvette says Bali is cute, but really flavorless. Didn't even save seeds. Well, maybe that'll answer it for you, Mike. Good to know. Thanks, Yvette. Small and annoying. I had that this year, already pulled it out. Are you talking about Petit Mignon or Spoon? Spoon I know is small and annoying. But if it's Petit Mignon, I'd like to know about that. Yvette says Petit Mignon has a bit thick skin. It's just skin and seeds. It is sweet and kids love it. Well, that sounds like it's worth a grow for sure. Interesting. Now I really want to try it. It sounds like I would bet if it's thick skin like that, Yvette, does it keep a long time? That would be interesting. Terry, hi Terry. My daughter makes sourdough items. Houseplant's doing well. Thanks for the heads up on sticky traps to rid the gnats. It's amazing. Her go-to is using peroxide in the soil. Gosh, funny you say that, Terry. And I'm glad the yellow sticky traps are helping you out. For those of you that may not know, I've got one over there. But if you go on Amazon, they're these yellow sticky traps. If you've got fungus gnats from growing in soil, I've been swatting them away, as you can see. They're very inexpensive, and they attract the gnats and they stick to them like flypaper, usually in the shape of like, a sun or a butterfly or something like that. But I bake sourdough also, and I bake a new boulet every other day for Rob and I. We eat fresh loaf one night, second half the next night. Don't finish it all, but so every other day I've got my sourdough starter out, and I try to keep the rim really clean so nothing gets in it. And yesterday I had it out, and the fungus gnats were finding their way. Thankfully, they didn't get inside, but I was like, stay away from my starter. That's gross. So yeah, for those of us that are saving seeds, fermenting seeds, still have tomatoes in the house, growing indoors. I grow lettuce and tomatoes indoors. Fungus gnats are just going to be almost an inevitable, I guess. Okay, hour 34 minutes. Should we get to what I'm obsessed with this week? I've got a couple to share, excuse me, of things that were given to me recently one that was given to me recently. Do I have the other one? I don't think I have the other one. This first one is a really special one. This was given to me by my friend Mike. I won't say last name because I don't want him to be hounded. He's been telling me about this tomato for a while. When I shared with him a long time ago that I don't like red tomatoes, which has been debunked, by the way. I now love bacon lettuce, and this was an amazing tomato, one of my favorites of all time. Also really loved Ed's Millennium, Pamiati Corneva, and Essol, but they're distant second place to bacon lettuce in this. So Mike kept telling me, he's like, you need this variety. Google it. Hazel Creek, you won't find a thing. Here's why. It's a very rare variety. Mike they're from North Carolina in the United States. And I'm going to share with you what he shared with me. He said he got it from North Carolina Farm Agency. He said only family members have these seeds. He also said the farm agent was having a tomato tasting at the local farmer's market. He only had 6 different varieties, so I took him a box of tomatoes. They were such a hit, he gave me some of the Hazel Creek tomatoes to save seeds from. So Mike and only their family have these seeds. But it isn't that they're just rare. He says this is like a next level red. He also said when the story behind it is when the government took people's farms away in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, or for the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, to build Fontana Dam, one of the communities was called Hazel Creek. So the homes were taken. The people brought their seeds out with them when they left their farms. The NC Farm Agency and the family descendants have had the seeds since 1920s. They have never been for sale. You can read all about the story by searching Hazel Creek in the Smoky Mountains. He says once a year, the Park Service takes the family members to visit their cemetery that is several miles into the park. So what a great story. And I'm so honored that he gave me seeds. Thank you, Mike. If you're watching, if you're not, I'm going to make sure I forward you the link to this video because I'm really honored. So I said with him, well, it's absolutely going on my grow list next year. There's no question. But what about, like, should I not save seeds from it? Because what if I save seeds and share it with everybody? What if they're eventually sold anywhere? And he said, go for it. He said he wants the variety to be preserved. So I will be growing it out next season. I will be sharing seeds. And I have nothing but great things. He said, I must grow it next year. It looks fabulous. I have to say that a lot of times the reds look fabulous and I taste them and they're just like, up until this year, a big disappointment. But the deep red interior on this one gives me high hope. And I don't think Mike would have just told me that if you like bacon lettuce I don't think he said if you like bacon lettuce in this, you'll like this, because I don't think he grew it, but he's pretty confident this is going to be a game changer. Yes, I agree. It kind of looks like bacon lettuce in this, says Sandra. I agree. I feel like I missed something. Somebody else was talking about Jarson 1 and I missed it. Somebody else said something. It's a while back. Let me make sure I get it. Jarson 1. Maybe I'm imagining somebody else mentioned Jarson 1. Oh, Sandra. I have some Jarson 1 seeds to try for next year. That makes me so excited to hear. There's several different variants. I don't know which one you have. I mean, my two variants that I've grown, the taste is very, very similar. I mean, they have the same crosses, so chances are they're going to be similar. But look in my album. I'm going to put just a Jarson album up there too. So I show two very different Jarson ones, very similar in flavor. I rated them exactly the same thing. One, my Jarson 1 tricolor I keep talking about, is kind of a blunt heart. It's got a point at the bottom. It's gorgeous tricolor. The interior is one that you cut into it and you're just taken aback because it's so beautiful. And the other one came from Graf Samina. Although the ones she's showing on her website this year look a little different from the ones I got, but they have antho on the top and they're kind of a red-green striped heart. Absolutely fantastic. So I'll never turn down comments for my Jarson 1. Keena's got to go. Got to go rest tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, Keena. Karen, I agree. Hazel Creek has got to be one of the very best tomato history stories. I agree. It kind of makes me want to cry. Does it make you guys want to cry? I mean, these people lost their homes and they've held these seeds in this variety close to them since the 1920s, only sharing it with family. And then Mike shares his tomatoes with them and they like them so much that they share with him. It's a great story. And I'm very, very honored that he shared with me, and then I can in turn share with all of you guys eventually. All right, the next one I have not grown it yet, but it's got a great story and it's related to another variety I've grown this year. Next one's called Marcus's Meatball. This is from Bunny Hop Seeds. Somebody in TLC, I think just today, maybe yesterday, was asking about a website vendor called Heritage Seed Market. To reduce confusion, they're also known as Bunny Hop Seeds. The website, though, is heritageseedmarket.com. And it's kind of got two vendors in one. One is Bunny Hop Seeds, one's Heritage Seed Market. But Ellie, who runs Bunny Hop Seeds, is responsible for, I don't want to say most of the micro dwarf varieties out there, but a lot of the most popular ones. She, Jewel Beetle, Fat Frog, a lot of the birdie varieties. If you go on her website, you will see just an enormous amount of micros that maybe you didn't know she was responsible for breeding, but she's an extraordinary breeder, a very smart doctor, and also a friend. I've become friends with her over the years. She's a great vendor, and I've grown several things from her, not just microdwarfs, but also regular tomatoes. Grew several from her this year, or at least a couple, and peppers. And she's very talented. So this one's Marcus's meatball. It was out of stock for a while. I believe it is in stock. Did I make it into a banner? I don't think I did, but let's do that now. Hang on, let me just pull it up. Let me share the screen. Oops. Hang on. Here it is, Heritage Seed Market. And it's heritageseedmarket.com. And she's very honest on the front page, much like I am with getting out prizes, that they're not going to get to you soon. 3 to 4 weeks, I think she says. No refunds or cancellations will be issued based on processing times of Okay, well, that was a hot mess. Somehow I kicked myself out of the broadcast. Not sure how I did that. It put me into a completely different studio. I thought my days with StreamYard would have, leaving StreamYard would have prevented this, but alas, not so much. All right, let me share the screen again. Heritage Seed Market. Glad it let me come back in. Okay, here we go. Heritage Seed Market. And let me put a banner in heritageseedmarket.com. She really puts a lot of work and effort into breeding and her seeds. I was fortunate enough to help her grow out, stabilize a couple things this summer that won't be ready for a while. One's a dwarf, one's a micro. Very much an honor. She takes it very seriously. She's very deliberate and takes painstaking measures to make sure things are stable and great. So highly recommend that site. But I mentioned this because we were talking about a variety, were we not? Where'd it go? Here it is, Marcus's meatball. So this was out of stock there, and I'd been wanting it because it's related to another variety I grew this year called prime rib. Let me show you what prime rib looked like. Prime rib was a really interesting variety. I shared a short video I made several months ago that it was a really short plant. It wasn't technically a dwarf, but it grew to be about 32 inches, and you get these big honking tomatoes. But let's get back to Marcus's meatball. So it says from Heritage Seed Market, it's a Bunny Hop Seeds original creation. It was developed from the cross that produced prime rib. And these are Ellie's words, by the way. I don't normally want to pursue varieties that are quite similar to each other from the same cross, but meatball has emerged through the years as a different variety. By the way, this isn't to be mistaken with Nano's Meatball Dwarf, which was one of my favorite tomatoes of the year and all time. That's from Secret Seed Cartel. Marcus's meatball is different. Secret Seed Cartel also now stocks one just called Meatball, which is related to Nano's Meatball Dwarf. But Marcus's meatball is separate, completely separate, only at Heritage Seed Market. Meatball has emerged through the years as a different variety to prime rib. It is not a large, squatty beefsteak as prime rib is. Marcus's meatball is a medium chocolate, more rounded beefsteak. Even with this difference, I would not have introduced it as a new variety, except that it had some pretty impressive reviews from a gentleman who helped me with the grow out. Here are his comments throughout the growing season. And then she writes, I promise I did not pay him to write these nice thoughts. He wrote, I just can't say enough about Meatball. It has disease resistance like a German tank. The production is off the charts. Rosa de Falula finally gave up on me last week, while Meatball keeps going and going. And then he writes, the reason I wanted to email you is a comment that my mother made. She asked if I could grow her the new tasty tomato. Well, then I made the reference to Carolina Dusk, which is another one of hers that I grew this year also. She said, no, not that one. The little dark tomato, Meatball. I'll need at least 3 plants, she said. When she's eating a favorite tomato, hands off her tomatoes, 2 for her, 1 for me to harvest seeds. Then Ellie says, Meatball's a super productive tomato with great balanced flavor, not too tart or too sweet. Meatball is great, a great smooth tasting tomato that deserves its own place to shine. So I did order seeds for this and I'm considering adding it to my grow list next year. It sounds interesting. Sounds really great, does it not? And there I am. Yeah, 771, blah, blah. I don't know what happened. Sandra, I loved my order from Heritage Seed Market, but can be delayed. No worries, not like I can grow for this year anyway. Yeah, she's very open about that on her page. And unfortunately, I believe she does not ship outside the country, outside the United States. So I have ordered for people before. If you have a friend in the United States who maybe you order for each other, I know I've had people from Europe order for me and vice versa. And you want to order anything from them, I encourage you to find a teammate. That's a great way to team up. And 771 blah blah. I'm just going to call you blah blah. Anyone ordered from Meraki Seeds? Yes. Helena Rutstrom is from Meraki. She is in our group in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. Really great vendor. Just been talking to her just today, or yesterday. Yes, I can speak highly for her seeds as well. I grew Black Hole Sun was from her this year. I've grown I've grown some of her micros too. Oh, and she has probably the largest selection of lawn keepers I've ever seen. But yes, that's a great place to order from. I've placed a few orders from her and done a trade with her, trade or two, I think. And Anna agrees, love Meraki. Jen's here. Hey, Jen. Hey, buddy. Made it out for a bit, was out harvesting Pepperville, and time got away from me. I'm not harvesting my peppers. I'm leaving them out there as long as I possibly can. Well, except for the ripe ones. Jen, I have so many green peppers out there. They're never going to ripen in time. For those of you that may have joined late, just to remind you, tomorrow is our Tomato Talk Live. Jen and I, Be There, Be Square, and our special guest is our best friend, none other than Craig LaHoulier. Be there, be square. Be there or be square. It's going to be a great time. So that's Marcus's Meatball. And then I already mentioned it's related to this variety I grew called Prime Rib, which I really had high hopes for. Oh no, what did I do now? There we go. It was okay. You know, I was so excited. I mentioned a couple minutes ago that it grew. It was only 32 inches. It was like a dwarf, but it's not technically a dwarf. And it was loaded with big beefsteaks. We gave it a 6 out of 10. I would consider growing it again, though, because everything I read about it is really good. You know, sometimes depending on a season, you know, the Brix was 3.4, which is relatively low. That doesn't mean it's a bad tomato, but that's relatively low. You know, some of my favorites are 4s and 5s. You know, some got to 8s and 9s for slicer. That's amazing. I did start a sucker from this one and had a second fall plant, and it was better. I forgot to take the Brix of that one. I would consider growing it again, though, just because for those of you limited on space, like I said, it's not technically a dwarf, but mine was absolutely both. Well, I was going to say both plants, but the second plant was a clone, a sucker, and that, of course, would be a clone. So that would be the same plant. How long did it take for you to receive your seeds? A few weeks. She is in Greece. She ships very quickly, but it can take a few weeks. So yeah, she's wonderful. Really nice lady. Oh, I'm already answering since I'm behind. Anna's answering 3 weeks from Greece to Canada. Brittany. Hey, Brittany. Just got home and my tomato Eden was in the mail. So excited. My first tomato seed. Really? Your first order? Your first tomato seeds? Oh, let's all give Brittany a congratulations. I'm excited for you. Welcome to the obsession and the rabbit hole that is tomatoes and Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap and mine, Jen's videos. I'm excited for you. Tomato Eden. If there's one place you can order, that's a really, really great vendor. Tatiana's a wonderful human being, very generous. And she named a tomato after me and Jen and Kina, so she can't be all that bad. No, she's great. She ships very quickly too. She is in Latvia, and her stuff comes in usually about 21 days for me to the United States from Latvia. And boy, does she have varieties. Interesting varieties, really interesting varieties. Lots of variants on varieties, lots of Jarsons, lots of long keepers, lots of micros. There's really nothing you can't find there. A month or so, it wasn't long considering the order was coming from another country. Not sure if you're talking about Meraki or Heritage Seed Market. Heritage Seed Market, she's a very busy person. She just says up front that, she just doesn't get them out quickly, even within the United States. But yeah, Tomato Eden's 21 days, Meraki's just a couple weeks too. And the unboxing I did last week from Garden Horde, I think they say a month, and I don't think it was quite a month. I think that was a couple weeks too. Oh, Jen, I was going to ask you, we might get frost tonight. I'm so bummed. Weird that you get a frost before me. So many hot peppers are not fully ripe. You missed earlier in the episode, many of us were talking about that. Kina's had 2 frosts already. Rowena's had 2 frosts already. I pulled up my 10-day forecast. Nothing in the 30s yet. Next Thursday morning says 39. So that's pushing it, but no frost warnings yet. Mainly in the 40s and 50s. So I have a while to go, or at least 10 days. But our average first frost date is around now. So that is a bummer. I know it's, this late in the season with the chilly daytime temperatures. Ripening on the vine may be slim to none, but I'm going to take it for what it's worth. I've had some amazing peppers this year and tomatoes. I've been very blessed. All right, let's get on. We were talking about Jarsons earlier. I will never shut up about Jarsons. Now we're talking about things I have grown this year. And I've got 2 Jarson 7s that I grew. 2 different Jarson 7s. The cross is both obviously on the same on the both. Kazula 25 and my second favorite tomato, Malachita Vaya or Malachite Box. Here's the first one that I have named Jarson 7 Fire. What'd I do now? I got these seeds from Lux Tomatoes, and their Jarson 7 that they show in the pictures showed like a chocolatey striped tomato. And I've mentioned many times, Jarsons, a lot of them are not stable. I think Jarson 18.3 is stable. The Jarson 1 tricolor I've grown 2 years in a row, I think is stable, but many are not. And Jarson 7s are obviously one of them because this looks quite different from what Lux Tomatoes has grown. But I couldn't have been happier with it because I'm calling it Fire just to distinguish it from other Jarson 7s, and I'm going to show you another one in a minute. It really looked like fire. I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but let me see if I can expand it a bit. That top picture shows a bit, and the group of a lot of them show it more. They look like fire. They were like this neon coral color with a neon orange. They were spectacular. These things are still producing. I kid you not. Not a lot, but they produced all season long. It was never ending, and they were delicious. We gave it an 8.5 out of 10, and the Brix was a 4.5. So as you can see, it's not up there in the 8s and 9s for sweetness, but that doesn't always tell the full story. It was a fabulous tomato. What did I write about it? I said it's a best of 2024. Incredibly delicious tomato, very productive. Our version grew out differently from the Lux Tomatoes, which was a striped version. This is sort of striped too, but more like flames. That's why I named it Fire. Incredible flavor that has deep, rich umami flavor that lasts and lasts. It's like a fiesta for the taste buds. We couldn't stop eating it. tons of flavorful seeds and goo, which is simply heavenly, very rich. Definitely one of the best of 2024. Production is insane. And I wrote that a couple of weeks ago before I knew just how long it was going to last. Jen is talking about Tomato Eden. I can't stop buying from Tomato Eden. I don't know how I don't already have everything. I was just thinking about that today. I got Japan Giant from their amazing pepper. Funny you say that. I was just looking at that today, Jen. Jen gave me a plant for a variety called Spitz Paprika Chocolate, and I'll be sharing about that in my pepper episode, which I promise to do soon. She said seeds came from there, and you can find it on their Spitz Paprika Chocolate. What a pepper that is. These things were like this long. Big handful of elongated peppers that turn this dark chocolate very sweet and delicious. So thank you, Jen, for that plant. She's also got a lot of mini peppers. I grew a lot of her peppers this year. I agree. You will become addicted with Tomato Eden. I just got an order in a couple days ago, and I already have a cart with a bunch of stuff in it. Every day I look, and she's adding all of her new stuff on there. So, I've got another cart going too. Oh, Sri Devi. It's been 7 weeks and still waiting to get from Tomato Eden. That's a long time. She does offer tracking. Did you pay for the tracking? Some people over the past year have had problems with customs confiscating. 7 weeks seems to be a bit too long to me. But she offers an option to place your order with or without tracking. If you ordered tracking, you should be able to track it based on your order number. If not, I would reach out to her. 7 weeks is a long time. It's not, some people have received it in a couple of months, so it's not unheard of. But I tend to do only with tracking. Now it's only a couple extra dollars, I think. It's weird because I've got to have a Tomato Eden pack here somewhere. Hang on. I've got her stuff all over the place. Hang on, bear with me. Of course, the one time I can't find Tomato Eden. Oh, I'm silly. Well, here's one. There's a bunch right here. So these are the seed packets. Look like this, 10 seeds per pack. But what I really wanted to show you is she pays a lot of money and goes through painstaking measures to get something called a plant passport, and that her seeds get tested for disease resistance and all of that. And that should ensure that customs doesn't take them, but it doesn't. And it does happen. So yes, Redevi, I know you've had issues before, not from her, but in other places. I would check with her or check your tracking. That's a bit of a long time. So back to Jarson's. This one came from Lux Tomatoes. But if you go on Lux Tomatoes, let me show you right now, actually. I'll go, I see a tomato seed on my keyboard. That's seed number 25. That was from that one pack I opened. Don't ever open seed packets when you're at your desk and on the air. All right, I'm going to share screen here. Can I do that? I want to show you what the original Jarson 7 looked like. Lux Tomatoes is another great vendor. Don't know if I've done an unboxing from them or not. She's also in Latvia. Boy, her Jarson 7's not on here. Is it? I thought it was. Huh. She must have removed it. Because it was the original. Yeah, I know she had it on here. She must have removed it. But like I said, it was kind of a chocolate striped. Looked gorgeous, but I'm quite happy with my Jarson 7 Fire. I mentioned Jarson 1, like all the variants. Look at her Jarson 1. Now this looks incredibly different from my Jarson 1 Tricolor and the Jarson 1 Striped Heart. But oh my gosh, her pictures are amazing. And if you're interested in ordering from Lux Tomatoes, I have had things confiscated through customs from there too, but she's really good about resending. So is Tatiana. I don't think I've met a vendor overseas who hasn't. There may be one or two that say they can't resend, but Tatiana's been very good about that. Graf Samina Elena, who's one of our favorite vendors, also is great at that. Yeah, it's a chance I'm willing to take in order to get great tomatoes. And one of my other favorites of the year, Bocatir Ilusha, came from Lux Tomatoes also. Highly recommend that. Okay, back to the slideshow. How are we doing? Oh, we're at 2 hours. No biggie. We're at 73 members. Make sure you type in #tomato and then say a prayer that the giveaway tool will work. All right, so that's one Jarson Fire, Kazula 25, and Malachite Box. Here's the other Jarson one. Could these look any different? Look at them. Same cross, different tomatoes. This is Jarson 1, Jarson 7, variant 1. I'm calling tricolor. It's an F7. I was given seeds for this from my Jarson Angel in Poland. How do I get rid of that? I guess I can't. Boy, is this a piece of art. It kind of looks like my Jarson 1 tricolor a bit, but without the point at the bottom. Look at that interior. And you can see from the bottom, our ratings were pretty much the same. 8.5 out of 10 on both. This one had a higher Brix of 4.8. The Jarson 7 Fire was a 4.5. Both were favorites of the year, that's for sure. The Jarson 7 Fire was more productive, but I loved both of them. Oh, hi, Jamie. Waiting for my Lauren, Kina, and Jen seeds to get here from Tomato Eden. So excited. I feel so honored that you guys are growing our tomatoes. That's really, really nice. Such an honor, for sure. Karen, you had me at umami with the Jarson 7 Fire. I know, right? There's only, and I'm sure you guys know this when you're trying to describe tomatoes yourself, there's only so many adjectives you can come up with. When I am able to distinguish a tomato's flavor different from other things, or I'm able to say things like rich or umami, I'm like, ooh, good. Or, spicy sometimes, not literally spicy like burning your tongue, but having that spice to it. That one is definitely umami. Here's what I said about the Jarson 7-1 tricolor. Delicious, very flavorful, equal parts sweet and tanginess, no wateriness at all. The flavor lingers on the palate for ages. Gorgeous coloring. So actually, I think it's an F8. I've got written down F8 here. I'm thinking the seeds I got were F7, so, or maybe I did it wrong here. That's probably more likely. I think it's an F7. So thank you to my Jarson Angel for giving me seeds for this. And I have saved seeds, and I'm happy to pass those on because they should be. All right, now I've got two more. 1, 2, 3 more. I said I was going to mention some lawn keepers, and I've got some here. This first one I'm going to share is one that I was searching for what felt like forever. This is a Spanish variety, and this is only one box that I have. This barely shared video from my phone earlier in the episode, a couple hours ago, of my garden. This plant is almost 11 feet tall now and has a ton of green fruit on it. This is called Banyal Bufar. It is so productive, and I was searching and searching and searching for seeds for this because I read somewhere when over the past year our group has become a bit obsessed with lawn keepers, or many of us have, thanks to Kina's mom Kit from Sweden. She grows them and she hangs them in the Ramelette style, and they look gorgeous, and she picks those tomatoes all year round. And we were all like, she shared a short video, it was last September, I remember, and we were all like, whoa, what is that? How do we get our hands on it? And now I have a resource sheet in the group. If you go in our group guides in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, I have a list of all the known lawn keepers that I know of, as well as some other helpful videos and things to teach you about lawn keepers. Meraki Seeds, which I mentioned a few minutes ago from Greece, has an enormous amount of lawn keepers, as well as a great blog post talking about lawn keepers. They're known by different things in different parts of the world. Long keeper, of course, winter storage tomatoes, Ramelette, de Colgar, and Penjar. I think I got them all. They're all just in different languages for the same type of thing, like hanging varieties. And there are some that last a long time that aren't necessarily part of that. I've got a box upstairs of a variety I grew this year called Chef Guy Getta that I've been saving now. I think they're going on 2 months old, and they have no signs of deterioration on them or rotting or anything. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, I wanted to grow some lawn keepers this year. And I did. I grew 4. One was a variety that I'll share in a future episode, but was given to me by a friend, a member in Spain. And he got some regional varieties through his family. The one I grew is called Ramelette Cul Papa, which I think is hanging tomato variety of the Pope, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's a great big pink variety, which wasn't productive because I had it planted in death row. But I got several, and they're really, really good. But I did collect so many long keepers, and then at the end of the season, or when I started this season, I'm like, how do I choose which ones to grow? I grew one called Anna Rita, which I gave away a lot of seeds from, and I know many of you grew them also. That's from Uprising Seeds. They've got like an Italian project they're doing, and that's part of their slow food Italian project, Anna Rita. And then the 2 I'm going to mention now. This first one is called, I already mentioned, Banyal Bufar. And I searched and searched and searched because I had heard, next one. I had heard, did them out of order. Here it is, Banyal Bufar. This is from Spain. I heard that this was a fantastic flavored tomato, and I saw it listed on the Slow Food Arc of Taste, which for me, that organization is all about preserving old varieties that may be extinct. So I searched and searched and searched, couldn't find it anywhere, not only in the United States, but where I could order them anywhere in the world, except for one place. They're called Great Lakes Staple Seeds. I think they're in Michigan, and they're only open for sales for like a month or 2. I was in with snowbirding with my parents in Destin, Florida, in January, and they like announced that they were going to open. I saw this one listed, but they only had, if you go on their website, they have things listed as a resource, kind of like tomato faifu, but not necessarily for sale. And right now they're closed. I don't know when they will open again. But I was lucky enough. I met Eleanor, who's one of the owners. Her and her husband own, I think they're more known for growing grains and things like that. But if you want to check out their site, it's greatlakesstapleseeds.com. Anyway, I had to wait 2 months for the seeds, but I got them. And they're really great. This plant is unstoppable, and it's a really good variety. We gave it, originally I gave it a 7 out of 10, but I'm changing it to a 7.5 because I feel like it's getting tastier as the season goes on. Words out on how long they last. I have had some rot already, but I'm storing them in a cool place in boxes. I am not hanging them, so that may make a difference. But mine just weren't all ripening on trusses. I will probably pick the green ones and hang those on trusses when maybe I should do that now. Actually, there's a lot of green ones, and maybe hang those. So I think that's a better way of growing or of storing them. But they do say, I know I had Evan from Heirloom Seed House on my show in January when I was in Florida talking all about lawn keepers, and he stores them this way. They've got to be in a cool, dark place. So, I know it doesn't look like much because I suck the seeds and goo out. Gosh, it's better than I remember. This is going to be a nice treat in the winter. I should have brought my knife and cutting board down here. I'm going to show you seeds and goo. Great. Okay. Here's what I wrote about it. If I can stop eating. Wonderful. All caps. Very rare variety from Spain. much tastier and juicier than other lawn keepers. Very prolific. That's an understatement. Gorgeous, glossy, large red fruits averaging about 2 ounces each. Plant is about 10 feet tall as of September 1st. Yeah, well, October 10th, it's about 11. And it's bending over, so who knows how tall it really is. Nice sweetness and tasty seeds and goo. Much sweeter and juicier than I expected and was really great. A very rare lawn keeper that I'm now proud to now have seeds for and distribute to the tomato community. And here's what the write-up is from... Oh, this is a write-up from Great Lakes Staple Seeds. I was hoping to have one from Slow Food Arc of Taste, but I guess they do have a link on their site to it. There's Banyal Bufar, a small mountain village founded by the sea on the Balearic island of Mallorca, celebrates these tomates de ramelette, which is, I mentioned, another name for hanging tomatoes, or bouquet tomatoes, every year in their Fira Gastromusicale, a gastronomic fair that combines local food with music. Aboard Slow Food's Arc of Taste, ramelette tomatoes are typically grown for winter use, harvested and hung in an enfilade, see photo, for use throughout the fall into winter. Banyal Bufar tomatoes are a Spanish ramelette type, typically enjoyed as pa am oli, where the tomato is crushed on a slice of toast, first drizzled with olive oil, often accompanied by jamon serrano ham. Well, jamon is ham. Jamon serrano, cheese, local olives, and pickles. How good does that sound? Minus the ham for me, but I'm doing that with olive oil, maybe some garlic in there. Ooh, salt, pepper, truffle salt. That's it. Robust vines require strong support. Blocky red fruits are medium firm, averaging 2 inches by 2 inches. They keep in a single layer in a cardboard box. Let's see. So there's a picture on their site. So the trio of wrinkled tomatoes that are shown were harvested early October and photographed 14th of December. They were kept in a single layer in a cardboard box in a cool location. So that's how they store theirs. So I'm very, very happy with Banyal Bufar. Oh, wait, is Ansel here? Did I miss you, Ansel? I see somebody saying hi to you. Hi, Ansel. I don't see a comment. I see people saying hi to you. Hi, Ansel. Hi, Cordaro. Ansel, I got your picks from the seeds you won for me. You chose very, very great tomatoes, so I will get those seeds to you soon. They went through my my catalog on Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head yesterday, and I owed Ansel seeds because they sent me that great Mrs. Tomato Head shirt from the Tomato Art Festival in Nashville. I don't see a comment from them, but glad you guys are here. Zach has a question. Hi, Zach. Any experience with the variety Veselaha Sosedka? It was among 7 gifted varieties I got from Tomato Eden. I don't know. I would have to translate it, but sounds interesting. I don't know it myself. I would go on, put that into Google Translate, and I bet you'll get an English, if you speak English, an English name for what that is, and maybe you can research further. But yeah, she gives away a lot of gifts. That's the other thing. I think 1 free gift for every 5 tomatoes, like every 6 one's free. She's very generous. Samantha's here. Hey, Samantha. Holy moly, I'm late. You know me. You knew at 6:15 I'd still be on. Well, 6:15 Eastern. Just about done, but I was thinking about you with something earlier that I mentioned, and I didn't see you were here. I think it was a rare variety I was talking about. Hazel Creek. You want to watch the episode back. Really interesting variety I was given that is only available to family members from this North Carolina park system. There's a great story behind it. You'll want to watch that. I think that's what I thought of you for. I don't remember, but glad you're here. Good question. When on earth do I pick the lawn keepers? Great question. Did you lose me again? I didn't kick myself out this time. I don't think I did. So I've been picking, first of all, I started my lawn keepers a month later than my regular tomatoes. And next month I may put that off another 3 weeks. or so, 2 to 3 weeks. Although I say that, Banyo, because they were starting to ripen kind of regular season. I'm like, well, I'd rather have them ripening like at the end of the season so then I can pick them and they'll last longer inside. But a variety like Banyo Bufar, they're still coming. They're just nonstop. But varieties like Anarita, the next one I'm going to show you, Deserbo Toscano Bombolino, and Ranlet del Cal Papa, I wish that I had started later. So some people say pick them when they're green and they will ripen. I'm hoping that that's the case. I mean, I pick all my green tomatoes before coming in, Longkeeper or not, and most of them will ripen eventually. So, but up until now, I've been picking them at first blush, and I'm keeping them on the vine as long as I can. When I hear my first frost is coming, I'm going to pick them all green and hope for the best. But that is a great question. Oh, Pretty's here. Yes, Pretty went to Grow, Cook, Eat, Repeat. Our friend Pretty is here. She said, Evan had a very nice display of lawn keepers at the National Heirloom Seed Expo. I'm so jealous you got to see, but I'm so grateful that you shared photos of it in the group because he did a great job. He really did a great job. Ooh, Kelly, I have another malachite box that just ripened. I'm so jealous. As well as a couple of Black Hole Sun that will be on my dinner plate tonight. Lucky girl. Oh, Black Hole Sun, that was a great one this year. That was a find for me this year. That one, I haven't mentioned in an episode yet, my review of it, but I think we rated an 8 or a 9. It's a cross of Sun Gold, and it's fantastic. Reinhard Kraft, I believe, did that one. Oh, Satya, I have my first malachite box ever, almost right by my windowsill. Can't wait. Wow, that's so late for you guys. I know you've had trouble this year. I know many of you had trouble this year, so I'm just so grateful that you guys are all getting tomatoes. Oh yeah, this is another Longkeeper variety. Yellow out red in are very good. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, Anarita wasn't my favorite, and I know Malachite Jen said the same thing. Very pretty. I should have brought those down too. Samantha says she'll watch after. Yeah, Hazel Creek. You want to look out for Hazel Creek. Zach translated and got Veselaya Sosedka translates to cheerful neighbor, which is a delightful name. All right, now I'm obsessed with it. I wonder, is it available on her website or is that just a free gift? Because she's been doing that lately. I got Hope's Heart, Hope's new variety, as a gift for me because it hadn't been out when I placed my order. She's great with giving gifts. And like we mentioned, Roadside already, that Roadside Micro. I need cheerful neighbor. I really do. Zach, what does the picture look like on the seed packet? Give a description for us. When you store them in a single layer, are they stem side up or down? Doesn't matter. Thanks. Ideally stem side down, but sometimes they just roll over. Most of mine are stem side down. But then if you pick a truss, it's tough to do that. You can see some are wrinkled already. Actually, this one's rotting a little already. But many of them have been alive for months because I've had this one going. It was one of the earliest varieties. Gosh, I wonder if I can try to share the video one more time. Let me see. It was saying that my file was too big. Yeah, it won't let me. Silly rabbit. That makes no sense. I've got a word or two for EV Mux. I need to be able to share videos. What's that? No, that's turning off my camcorder. All right, let me share with you though. Now while that one's the most productive and quite delicious, for flavor, I've got one that is unbelievable. This one from Italy called Deserbo Toscano Bombolino. I got these seeds from a vendor in Italy called Seed Hunters. My order took a couple months to get here, and here's why I ordered it. First of all, I couldn't find this variety anywhere else, but here's what they say about it. Let me give you guys the website name. Now, if you just type in seedhunters.com, you're going to come up with like a non-page. It has to be this https://www. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's weird. www.seedhunters. It doesn't make any sense to me why that would be. Yeah, it's not coming up. If you Google Seed Hunters Italy, it'll give you the website directly. It's weird. Yeah, it just says seed. It says seedhunters.com. All right, let me show you. Okay, let me get rid of this and share screen. All right, this is what they look like. And they're known for dry farming. Listen up, Jen Joy, dry farming in Italy. They're, I think, the only vendor I've ordered from that is actually in Italy. And it takes a while, but you can order at least from the United States. I would imagine if they ship all the way here, they ship other places in Europe. But I ordered from them. I first found them last year because of their lawn keepers. They've got a couple. They've got one I grew last year called Sicagno. And then this is the one I ordered, DeSerbo Toscano, DeSerbo tomato from Tuscany, or DeSerbo Toscano Bombolina. Bombolino, I believe, just means round. Let me read you the story of this, and then let me tell you about my review of it. And I've got some to show you too. They say Serbo Toscano Bombolino. We must thank Mr. Danielle Albanese, who has looked after it for many years, donated the seeds to us together with others still involved in the control process, and which will probably be available next year. We don't know the exact history of this tomato. Mr. Danielle has always grown it, he tells us, hangs it in the garage and keeps it very well. He sends us the seeds and a tomato to demonstrate how to preserve it. It's February. The tomato is in excellent condition. The plant is determinate, rustic, and productive. The berry is round, weighing a maximum of 30 grams. The skin is exceptionally thick. The pulp is very sweet. These are among the main characteristics of Serbian tomatoes. The variety is very stable. The cherry tomatoes are all the same size. Let me show you what they look like. Very similar to Benyo Bufar. Despite its size, the variety does not suffer from apical rot. It can be grown in pots because it tolerates water stress very well. And then they say Bombolino Toscano is one of those varieties at risk of disappearing that we distribute free of charge in the municipalities of origin and neighboring municipalities. How nice is that? Just request it by leaving a message when ordering, or by, so local, they give them out locally. So I knew I had to order it and buy it. And they gave me a bunch extra. They were very generous with their seeds. And the packet had, it says 25 seeds in the packet. I think it was actually more. And they shipped me like a bonus pack too. I've actually just ordered through them again. I gave a lot of these seeds away in the Shamrock seed swap that Jen did in the group back in March. So many of you probably got these seeds. I'm also going to be giving a lot of the Benyo Bufar and this one away in the MMMM swap. But look at the brick score on this, 7.3. Now, honestly, when I started growing lawn keepers, I wasn't expecting much for flavor. The Sicagno I grew last year wasn't all that tasty. It was okay. I honestly didn't even know it was a lawn keeper at the time. I was eating it fresh. I'm like, it's just kind of dry and okay. Had I grown it as a lawn keeper, that would have been a different story. But I bit into one of these. This wasn't as productive, but considering it was in death row, it was, I mean, these are just the ones I saved. I saved a whole bunch from seeds. So it did really well. And we gave this an 8 out of 10. It's so sweet. Skin's a little chewy. You would expect that with lawn keepers. This is a delicious tomato. long keeper or not. That's a great tomato. I was not expecting it. So I wonder if I can put a link in the comments. It's really Google Seed Hunters Italy, and it will come up. Hopefully this comes up. Yep, okay, I just posted a link. So if you'd like to check out their site, you know, like I said, I've had good luck with them. I just ordered again. It takes a couple months, but I got it just fine. Sandra's gone. Soccer calls. Well, people do have lives. They can't sit here and watch me talk about tomatoes all night, right? Glad you could join us, Sandra. Zach says the picture on the packet kind of looks like if striped German was just all the solid color of Kellogg's breakfast. Not stripes. I just am more familiar with the shape of striped German. Thanks, Zach. That's helpful. I'm going to have to check it out. Jamie says they do have it on their site. Oh, and she's got a description here. Medium late, 150 to 120 days, tall variety for growing in film and glazed greenhouses, indeterminate, height of 2 meters, 3 to 4 fruits are formed in the bush. Nice to know. Zach says, also, Lauren, I'd love for you to do a deep dive live stream on multiflora varieties that I've grown. And also, I would love if you did a master post in TLC asking people's favorites, trades, etc. Zach, we actually normally are really good about asking things like that during tomato season. We've been a bit lax with things like that, but we do often ask questions. Like we usually have a question a week. But we've all been a bit strapped with tomato season. Those are great ideas, though. I haven't grown a whole lot of multiflora. I did grow 2 this year. I grew microberry and I grew miracleberry. Both very good. But yes, I'd be happy to. Those were like hanging varieties multiflora. But I loved I keep getting them mixed up. I loved miracleberry. I liked microberry too by Lucas Wallman, but I really liked miracleberry. Those were red. Oh, is that it? Seeds Hunter works. It needs the plural. Oh, silly me. Considering I've placed 2 orders from them and have yet to figure that out. Thank you. I swear I've stared at it a trillion times and didn't come to that conclusion myself. Thank you. Anyway, they're a great vendor. They've also got a lot of a few other long keepers and some really neat Italian varieties of other things too. So check them out. All right, we've got one more. I swore every week I say this, but I'm like, I don't think this one's going to be 3 hours. But alas, it is. The last one I thought for a while was a cuckoo, meaning not true to type. These seeds I got from Tomato Eden. It's called Rojo Verde o Bicolore de Harl. And the picture she has on her website on Tomato Eden looks nothing like this. So I thought all season this was a cuckoo, except I looked at Graf Samina, who's also selling it, and hers looked just like mine. So cuckoo or not, this, Yvette, I don't know if you're still here, but I know you and I have talked about getting you this one. What a productive variety this is. Beautiful, gorgeous. We rate it 7.5 out of 10. Brix is 4.5. Again, if you go to Tomato Eden, you're going to see a tomato that looks quite different. Maybe you'll get this, maybe you won't. But Graf Samina, if you look at her site, or her Facebook page has all of her tomatoes now because her website was hacked. Her tomato looks exactly like mine. So maybe it's Tatiana's, that's the cuckoo. I don't know. The one thing in the name, it's a Rojo Verde, means kind of red-green. So that leads me to think like there is no green in this. But whatever. Brix is 4.5. Rating is 7.5. I wrote delicious and incredibly productive. Doesn't look like what the pick is in Tomato Eden, but Elena from Graf Samina has the same look as mine, so I'm going with it. Huge fruits, all averaging 1 pound or more. This thing was never ending. Gorgeous bicolor, fruity, juicy, delicious. One of my most productive of the season. So there you go. Tomato Eden says the variety, originally from Spain, was created and stabilized by the collector Juan Antonio Ramirez Lopez in the Cordoba region in the Alcorcon. Sweet taste, a very beautiful and productive variety. Flavor was good, not great. Mild, but just, oh, that was my review in the beginning of the season. Good, not great. Mild with just a little sweetness. That changed. It's funny. Have you guys noticed that some of your varieties change as the season goes on? I'm very much learning not to do reviews in the beginning of the season because I had a few like Carolina Dusk, Dana's Dusky Rose that were much better as the season went on. Jarson 16 Yellow was much better as the season went on, and this was another one of them. So, yeah, I would go with my more recent review, juicy, sweet, delicious. So that's Rojo Verde o Bacolore de Harl. I don't know which is what, but I've saved seeds from this, and it was very productive. Microberry was good. Got it from Tomato Eden. I got like 40 varieties. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I put a little video in the group. If you search for Microberry Jerry, I had a little friend, a chipmunk, on my deck all summer long. He's still out there, Microberry Jerry, and he would hang from the trusses of Microberry, grab the tomatoes in his little mouth, hide under one of my deck railing planters in like an opening, and just sit there looking at me. And I got this adorable video of him. And then you see this pile. I guess he doesn't like the skin because he would like leave remnants of the tomato. So I named him Microberry Jerry. So he liked it. I liked it. Very productive, very sweet, delicious. So I will put up reviews for those soon. I didn't put the hanging varieties in my what do you call it, in my album yesterday. I wanted to do a separate one for those. So that's all I got today. 2 hours, 34 minutes later. Anybody have any questions? Oh, Dana, you just got here. Glad you made it. Well, talked about some great things today. So I hope you do watch back. Which one, Julia, did you grow from Faifu? Rojo Verde? Was yours like green stripes? I didn't even know they had it. Now I have to look. Keep meaning to look at them again and placing another. I've only ordered from them once. Now I need to look. Rojo Verde. I don't see it on here. Maybe you're talking about something else. Yeah, I don't see it on Tomato Faifu. Let me know what you're talking about, Julia. Yeah, Jerry. Very cool name for your little buddy. Yep, Microberry Jerry. Okay, gang. Here's the moment of reckoning. Let us see if the giveaway tool works. Oh, gosh, I hope so. It would make things so much easier for me. Jen's just recently signed up. She's going to be doing live videos here on EV Mux too. We need this to work because it's only $50 a month, like what I was paying on StreamYard. And I'm nervous. It was not working on our 5,000 episode. Have no fear if it doesn't work. I will, any of you who are here today and commented, I will make sure I do a separate drawing for your stuff. But boy, it would make things really easy. All right, everybody, hashtag tomato one last time. Let's go. So I'm going to pick 5 people, hopefully 5 people, and Rojo Verde, red and green striped. I don't think that's the same one we're talking about, though, Julia. Bicolore de Harl. I think Rojo Verde might be something different. It's also known as two-headed jarl or something like that. I don't know what I was going to say. I'm procrastinating because I'm worried this isn't going to work. Oh, so I'm going to draw 5 names of people, and I will give you a choice of seeds of just about anything I talked about today or past episodes, with the exception of I don't have enough Hazel Creek. And everything else, I should have enough of everything else. Hazel Creek, I do not. And Yeah, and that includes stuff I got from Terry Promise. I should have extras of those too. All right, gang. Let's do it. Ugh. Reset giveaway. Reset giveaway. Oh no. It's telling me to reset giveaway. What's it? Who is it? Come on. Same thing. Same thing was happening. All the bells and whistles, but no name. All right, what was happening last time too is when I'd start another one, another name would pop up. So let's try it again. Come on. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh, wait. Is it the color? I'm going to try changing the background color. Oh, maybe it's hidden somewhere or something. Let's try again. Come on. Oh, this is painful. Even this reset giveaway button. Nothing. Oh, rats. Well, this stinks. All right, well, rather than keep you guys all day, because I've kept you long enough, I'm going to go through, and everybody that put in hashtag tomato, I'll do a random drawing. So not as fun doing it live. I really need to talk to Evie Mux to get this straightened out, because it's a big part of what I do and what Jen and I do with our Tomato Talk Live. Really don't want to go back to StreamYard, but we will. Sorry, gang. Sorry it's not working. Dang, I know. It's so frustrating. Oh, Cultive Taru. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. That makes sense. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. If you're just joining and didn't see me mention it a few times, tomorrow night is our October Tomato Talk Live. We have Craig LaHoulier coming back, our friend and the Tomato King will be back with us. He's always great for a lot of fun and tomato knowledge, and Jen and I don't even need to say a word. Thank you guys for joining me. I know these episodes can be long, and it makes me feel good that we still have 73 live viewers watching. And I'll figure out something with the prize. Maybe I'll live stream it. How am I going to do that? Maybe I'll do a separate video because not everybody's in the group, and I want to make sure we get everybody. Maybe I'll upload it, do the Wheel of Names or something, and do that separately. So thank you, gang. I will see you next week, but hopefully before that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on, and go grow tomatoes.